Less people into the right job. Glow Resources, complete employee solutions. GlowResources.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, October 22nd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 86 in hour one of today's show. We'll take a first look at LSU versus A&M coming up on this Saturday. We'll also look at what some of the top LSU recruits said after the Tigers' latest win, and we'll dive into some Saints injury news as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Ooh, you're scary.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Terrifying and terrible.
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, hello, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great Tuesday morning here, October 22nd. Wow, October rolling right along. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, and Tay-Tay hanging out with you today on OTB, and we are turning the page to a new week of football, right? A fun weekend for your Tigers last weekend. Mercifully, the Saints not playing football on the weekend, as they had already gotten that out of the way on Thursday. And we'll talk a little New Orleans Saints later in the show, as it's about, the more you think about the Saints right now, just the more depressing it gets. It's like a rotten onion, in that every layer you peel back just gets progressively worse. And so we'll kind of touch on it, and there's some interesting numbers that our guy Nick Underhill has in New Orleans on Football right now about the rate of injuries and whether or not it is extra normal, right? And so we'll get into that a bit later. We'll also have Nick coming on at 9. We got Hold the Mayo coming up, but we're going to talk some A&M. We're going to start to scout out LSU's opponent, as LSU A&M appears to be the premier matchup of the weekend. Is game day going there, actually?
No, they're going to Indiana.
God, and no Curtis Rourke? Lame, dude. I mean, I'm happy for Indiana. I'm glad game day is going to Indiana. I just hate that Indiana's season is kind of up in the air, as their starting quarterback, who's currently the most efficient passer in the entire country right now, hit his thumb on a Nebraska helmet last week and is out indefinitely. Expected to return this year, but out indefinitely right now. Anyway, this game Saturday in College Station is kind of a de facto playoff game. And in many ways, I know, again, mathematically, no, because a second loss would not preclude you from making it, but your margin of error would be non-existent for either team if they would fall. Now, one thing that A&M and LSU both have going for them, right? Still undefeated in the SEC. So it's a huge game. I can't wait for it. And I've been watching some A&M film. Get those thoughts in a second. Jake, what's up, man? How we doing this morning?
We're here trying to not lose my voice.
Yeah, your voice sounds like it might be going a little bit.
I know. It's, when you in this business, it's probably not good to lose your voice.
Yeah, no, it's it's kind of the whole deal.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing that you use every single day. But other than that, and other than awful unsportsmanlike conduct called in the Chargers-Cardinals game, the 7 people that watched it last night on ESPN Plus, at times, I don't even know what sport we're playing anymore. And like Sage Ryan like they got it right because in college you can go back and look at it, but in the NFL you can't. And like Sage Ryan's play where 4 officials threw a flag at that hit, like, and it wasn't a penalty. Like what? I really don't understand what we're playing anymore. I understand protecting players. I understand like blatant helmet to helmet, but like in that moment to call that penalty in an NFL game is wild to me. But we get more and more like that with every year.
So that was so I missed the game 17-15.
You and a lot
the
of other
Cardinals
people.
win, but that was one of the deciding plays.
I mean, that was going to make it 3rd down and long. You stopped them, and then they get an automatic 1st down. They go, and they kick the game-winning field goal in that drive.
Damn. Well, I'm sorry for the Bolts, but misery loves company. So guess what? Everybody's NFL team is bad right now, right? I mean, the Chargers still have the closest. I was going to say the Chargers have. I mean, that's classic Bolts right there, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
But the Chargers probably have the best hope, right? Cowboys seem like trash. Saints are trash. And, yeah. Anyway, let's ignore the NFL for now. And let's dive into college football. And, Jake, I'm going to ask you something, and because I need some perspective here. I don't know if I'm being a prisoner of the moment or my homerism and sunshine is just pumping extra strong, or I don't know, maybe I'm just too hyped on kind of the solidity of what I saw in that Arkansas film. My bias might be taking me over. I watched this morning for about an hour. I watched a lot of Texas A&M Mizzou on film, and I watched a lot of Texas A&M Mississippi State. Right, I wanted to see one of their best performances, and then one that was like okay. Yeah. And I'm not coming away particularly impressed. I think that they're big, definitely. They have a lot of size. The defense, that D-line's really good, obviously. Nick Scorton's a great pass rusher. A lot of havoc created by Scorton himself, second in the SEC in tackles for loss. You know about Shamar Turner there in the interior. He's good. This A&M offense, I don't know that there's a ton there. Yeah. You've had Connor Wigman play 3 Power 4 games this year, and he was awful against Notre Dame. He was great against Mizzou, and he was okay against Mississippi State. They have a good running attack. They almost run. They line up a gun all the time, but they basically run a pro style offense just out of gun. And so they just don't feel particularly threatening. One thing that is also obvious is A&M has not faced an offense close to what they will see on Saturday. But I don't know. I think it's just watching too much Garrett Nussmeier too, Jake, because like you watch Garrett Nussmeier play, and then you watch Brady Cook and Connor Wigman go back and back, against each other, and it just doesn't look the same. Yeah. Like ugly balls, not as quick of releases, bad decisions. It's I don't know. I guess I should say, like, I know it's going to be close. It's on the road. It's how it goes, right? I know it's going to be a battle. I just am not, even with like a game that you dominated like Mizzou, I didn't come away like overwhelmed or anything watching this team. No, I think there's places, and I think they're a good team. I don't think they're great right now. I think there's still some deficiencies they have. I think their corners are struggling really bad right now for Texas A&M, and that gets covered up with the guys up front because I do think that they've got some really good edge rushers, and they cover it up because they get home pretty quick. The front seven as a whole is solid. Again, I think the edge rushers are the best part of that, but they got some really bad corner play at times. Teams just haven't had time to get to the receiver. Yeah. That's one thing LSU does really well is give Garrett Nussmeier time. So you feel like that's going to be an advantage for you. Then we're going the other side of the football. The right side of their offensive line wasn't impressive. The left side's a little bit better. Left tackle looks pretty composed. Going into the film, I thought across the board, just from narratives that I felt like I thought I knew, it would be across the board on the offensive line. Me too. Left tackle's good.
Left guard is pretty good. Center, right guard, right tackle have struggled at times for sure and not consistent.
Yeah, and I mean, right now I'll take. Braden Swenson's second in the SEC in sacks. I'll take that man going against anybody. Him and the left tackle will be a battle, but yeah, I agree with you. The right tackle seems like an area that you could. Could take advantage
I think
of.
Moss is great at running back. I don't want to take anything away from him. I think
Yes.
he is a really good player. I think he creates on his own as well. It doesn't have to be blocked up perfect for him. And it feels like he is going to be what Texas A&M tries to use as their biggest weapon to try to beat you.
Well, that's the thing, right? And to be fair, when I say it doesn't feel particularly threatening, it's a good point because partially that is probably a function of running a mainly pro-style offense, where it's going to be a bit more about staying on schedule. You don't care about the big chunk plays as much. A lot of workman-like runs, and yeah, Le'Veon Moss. I mean, I'll look up the stats real quick, see where he ranks in the SC. He's obviously very good, but like that's. I mean, I have it written right here. If they can run the ball, the offense will work. If they can't, they're going to really struggle. And that's like, that's the case with a lot of teams, but with this A&M team, it seems to be even more so, even exacerbated a bit. Like if right now, Connor Wigman's pretty inconsistent. And if you force the game into his hands, that's going to challenge A&M. And why I maybe feel a bit bullish on LSU, Jake, we've seen back-to-back weeks them do that against teams that had better rushing statistics. Maybe not the same style of how they want to get to those runs, but better rushing production overall.
Yeah.
And LSU shut it down, put in Jackson Dart's hands, had success. You shut it down, put it in Taylor Green's hands. And Taylor Green actually played really well. Avoided the rush, was consistently moving the ball there.
Yeah, got the
for
ball
a long
out quick,
time.
too.
Got the ball out quick, but in the end, he too kind of fell. And so I see Connor Wegman, who I don't think's played as well as either of those guys, so there's a bit more nuance if you wanted to compare him to Taylor Green, but he's not going to be as mobile. Like a lot of those Swinton rushes and some of those designs from last week get home if it's in the same situation. So I mean, this is the ultimate stop the run and everything works. And I just feel pretty good about LSU doing so, given that you just took down the top two rushing teams in the SEC each of the last 2 weeks, one of which was on the road.
So I wonder if A&M comes into the game plan and they're like, hey, we're going to run Moss, and it's not working. Like I do wonder what their second pitch will be. Like
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Could we see Marcel Reed come in? Like, would he have a package? Because if I'm LSU, like I'm certainly going into the game plan with Moss being the one thing that if I lose this game, it ain't going to be because of number 8. All right, so if they do have success, like what would Texas A&M do? Connor Webman can make all the throws. I'm not saying he can't, but right now, I look at them at receiver, and Barber's okay, Thomas is okay, Walker's kind of struggled this year. I mean, that is their identity is to lean on you, run the football, and break your spirit.
Yeah.
And LSU's shown over the last couple of weeks that hasn't worked against them.
And again, look at the offenses that they've played this year. Notre Dame, McNeese, Florida, Bowling Green, Arkansas, Mizzou, Mississippi State. None of those are good offenses. I mean, Bowling Green probably with Basilak would be up there. State at least spreads it out and wants to throw it around, but their offense has been hit or miss at times. Notre Dame's offense is bad.
The Arkansas stats are weird because Taylor Green threw for almost 300 yards and they only scored 17 points.
3-0 in the turnover department in that game. That was the ultimate, Taylor Green, what we kept saying about him. Like, that was Marcel Reed versus Taylor Green, and Marcel Reed didn't make the mistakes Taylor Green did. And that's kind of the other part right now, right? Like, again, A&M has won these games, but who's really quality on here? I mean, the LSU South Carolina win continues to appreciate in value. The Ole Miss win may not be like a top 10 win, but it's still better than anything on this list. I would take Ole Miss over Mizzou.
Oh, yeah.
You beat Arkansas, a common opponent. They had a neutral site. They barely beat him. You beat him on the road badly. And to be clear, the Arkansas game was closer than the final score says. It was an excellent job by LSU of snowballing. But, like, remember, we said the game was in balance when Wit Weeks made that incredible play. So that was a fight. But they still made the incredible play and then the incredible drives. They close it out and they win handily. They shut the door on that game. It's a team playing more confident. So I know College Station probably throws all this into the air a bit. It's going to really help that A&M pass rush. It can just be intimidating in general. If they get Le'Veon Moss going, then suddenly it's going to be game on. But I'm just being honest. And again, I'm also trying to acknowledge that maybe my bias is taking over. But after watching a pretty good amount, and I've watched some casually throughout the season, but after watching like pretty good amount of film today, like you said, Jake, this is a good Texas A&M team. And you can see the talent and the size, like the athletes, like they got bodies, but it's not a particularly overwhelming team, in my opinion. Like, I guess after my early film here, I come out more bullish about LSU than I went in.
For me, there's 3 players that I'm looking at for Texas A&M that you have to stop, and if you do, you're going to have a great opportunity to win the game. It's Moss on offense, it's Scorton and Stewart on the edge on defense.
Yeah.
Like, those are the 3 players that I think if you have a successful day against those 3 players, then you'll win the game. And that's not like besmirching the rest of the team. That's just that. Look, A&M's offense runs through Moss. Their defense runs through their edge rushers.
Yeah. And Shamar Turner's pretty good on the interior.
Yeah. He flashes.
Yeah.
He definitely there's sometimes that he's in there, but he wishes he wasn't.
It's not as good. It's not like
the
what
motor's
Ole Miss,
not what I thought.
It's not like what Ole Miss was bringing to bear. Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, look, there's still a ton more to break down with this game. I still need to. I still want to dive into the stats. Like this is no stats. I didn't look up any stats to form any of this opinion. This is just watching them and trying to see how I feel about it. And again, something to watch, like against Mizzou, Connor Wegman ends up with pretty nice stats. But then you watch the game and there's maybe only like 1 or 2 throws. A lot of underneath stuff, quick hitting stuff that Mizzou was kind of giving them. Also, what does Mizzou do well this year?
Does it not look like they snap the ball and then it's drawn up in the dirt?
Okay, Mizzou?
Yeah.
Bro, it looks awful.
It does.
Brady Cook is
like
discombobulated and not fast.
He's not reading anything.
No, he's getting freaked out immediately and he can't outrun anybody. It's like it's I don't know what has gone so wrong with Mizzou's offense this year.
I don't either. I mean,
no Schrader.
It is catching the football and head on a swivel looking around for the open guy.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen at this level. You're supposed to have a progression that you go through. And I don't know, because Missouri returned like everybody but Schrader.
Jeremy Fryer says, what did Notre Dame do to A&M? That wasn't the only, to be the only team that beat him. So to be fair, I haven't watched Notre Dame film yet because I wanted to watch what I thought would be like the best film, so I wouldn't come away with a biased opinion of, first game of the season, lose to Notre Dame. I mean, one thing they did is, I think A&M got the running game going a little bit, but they forced him into 30 pass attempts. And Connor Wigman finishes 12 of 30 for 105, no tuds and 2 picks. Last week against Mississippi State, 15 to 25, 217, 1 tud, 2 picks. Right? The one good Wigman game was Mizzou, where he goes 18 and 22, 276, no touchdowns, no picks. So
the only stat, and we're going to dive into the stats, I'm sure, coming up. The only stat that stood out to me when I was kind of looking, I was surprised A&M is giving up some yards on the ground, because I thought with those edge rushers who they've played, but they're giving up, I think it was right at 118, 120 yards per game on the ground, which was
Notre Dame beat him.
It's kind of in the bottom half of the SEC, and certainly over the last couple of years, that's kind of been a calling card for them, was stout run defense, and so this could be a big Caden Durham game.
All right, so we can get into some of the numbers next. We got some other. Imagine this: more LSU players winning awards. It's been that kind of year. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
Go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, GEAUXTommys.com, GEAUXTommys.com. You need hardly plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows. You need any type of door. You want to go to Tommy's, guys. They're the best, man. And Tommy's been at this for nearly 30 years now. And about 7 years ago, after, working in this business for 2 decades, I've learned a lot. There's some things that I would do differently, and I'm going to make that a reality. And that's why all 7 years that Tommy's has been around, they've won the Angie Super Service Award. It's because how they treat their customers, the effort they put in to making sure that it's a great experience from the estimate through to the finish. And that's why I say to just make them one of the bids on your next project and let them prove it to you.
Go to the website, gotommys.com. When you go there, you can check out a gallery of work that they've done in the community. Check out all the testimonials of past clients as well. Gotommys.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Talking a little Texas A&M. Hey, shout out. I think I tweeted it during the game. Put some friggin' respect on Damian Ramos' name. And Greg heard me. Sankey, that is. Because Damian Ramos named SEC Special Teams Player of the Week. You love to see it. So much of Ramos' work, because he's never really had the opportunity for like the game-winning kick. So much of his work is done in the shadows. You know, those solid second, third quarter, got to have it field goals so you avoid empty possessions in a game where you only get 10 possessions, right, on average. It's a game of football, I believe, Jake, isn't it? Around 10 possessions a game?
12.
It's 12? Okay. So Damian Ramos making sure that on 33% of your possessions last week that you came away with points. And actually, LSU might have had less than 12 last week. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't feel like they had that many. But.
Not when you go on an 8-minute drive to end the game.
We had 8 possessions last week.
Wow. So
scored on 7.
It felt like it.
3 touchdowns, 4 field goals, so 7 out of 8.
Yeah,
Oof.
and then the punt.
Yep.
How about that?
I know.
Efficiency.
I mean, look, that's what we were talking about, right? LSU punts the least amount or tied for the least amount.
With who? Ole Miss?
In the SEC. It's Ole Miss.
Ole Miss doesn't count because Lane goes for it so much too.
The teams that punt under 3 times a game are Ole Miss, Arkansas, LSU, and Texas. And even Arkansas doesn't count somewhat because they turn it over so much.
Yeah.
So it's like that's I mean, that's not a joke.
I'm not trying to move the
serious.
sliders. That's just true.
Yeah.
Ole Miss goes for it and Arkansas turns the ball over.
But still, either way, LSU's offense continues to be awesome. But a lot of that is because Damian Ramos makes sure that you don't waste these possessions, right? Greg Penn forces a fumble. You need to come up with something. What do? Bam. Damian Ramos. So I'm just really excited for him. See him get Special Teams Player of the Week. And then another unheralded guy. You know, so much of the LSU offensive tackle conversation just starts and then ends with Will Campbell because he's kind of the big name. And he's awesome. But you know who else is awesome? Emory Jones. And Emory Jones named SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. So shout out to a couple of guys who do a ton of great work in the shadows. And it's interesting. Will and Emory are both awesome. But I'm trying to think, man. I think Emory maybe got beat like one time last game. He has not been beat much this year. And it seems like teams have almost been going more good on good a lot, like kind of attacking Campbell with their best guy.
Yeah.
And Campbell's, it's still only a handful of times, right? I mean, it's the couple against Kennard. Landon got him a couple times. I think Emory got once last game, but Emory didn't get got against South Carolina.
No.
Like he's been damn near perfect the entire season.
We could probably say it's good on good, but also I think they're just like damned if you do, damned if you don't type situation. Like, it's not necessarily, hey, let's put good on good. It's just like, well, both these guys are elite.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just going to line up and we're going to let them play. I mean, Emory's been as good as any tackle in the country this year.
Yeah.
How many total sacks in SEC play? 2? LSU's given up 2 sacks in SEC play.
We've given up 2 sacks on the year.
On the year and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess USC would count up, but
I
2.
mean,
And that both those were in the same game.
I wonder if okay, so which game was it?
South Carolina.
Yeah. Let me look it up right here.
That has to be tops in the country.
Let's see.
I mean, unless maybe like the service academies.
Yeah, 2 sacks. You're down to 0.29 sacks per game. A&M's actually second on this list in terms of sacks allowed. They're giving up 1 sack a game. So
that's SEC.
So that's just the SEC, but
in the country, I can't tee. I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
Navy's throwing the football more.
Damn service academies. Army has only given up 1 sack this year, but obviously that's not really. representative.
Nobody's going to try to sack Bryson Daly, even though that doesn't even matter. They see Bryson Daly like, no, I'm going the other way.
It's like Georgia Tech's giving up 3, but Georgia Tech's going to, that's a run first Haynes King offense.
So you're second in the country?
Yeah, to Army. Then it's Georgia Tech with 3, New Mexico 3, Navy 3, all offenses that are different.
Think about how many times LSU football has thrown the football.
Yeah.
Not even compared to those teams, just in general.
Yeah.
And you've given up 2 sacks. Now, that's on the offensive line. That's on Garrett Nussmeier. That's on everything, play design. 2 sacks, and you're this deep into the season.
Mm-hmm.
We are going into week 9.
Well, think about who you face, too, because check this out, Jake. Let's look at sacks, and let's filter just against FBS opponents. South Carolina leads the country with 28 sacks on the year. Ole Miss, where's Ole Miss? Ole Miss is 8th in the country with 20 sacks on the year. So you've literally faced the best and another top 10 sack team in the entire country, and you've still only given up 2 sacks.
Yeah.
So, sorry, continue with your point, but that was just
reinforcing
I'm right there with that,
you.
It's not like you haven't played teams that can get after the passer. You played the literal best team.
I mean, even teams that, like UCLA and USC, like I know USC's numbers to begin the year were actually, pretty decent. So, UCLA, I know when they played Minnesota, I think they had a kind of a 3-4 sack day. So my point is, like you've played, like you're this deep in the season, and you've played South Carolina, you've played Ole Miss, you've played Arkansas, like. Landon Jackson's an all that poor phone.
I know. It's okay.
If a phone could have CTE,
just cross my legs.
Yours would have it. Landon Jackson was a preseason All-American.
Yeah,
and sure, he got he got 2 pressures. He didn't get home.
No,
so even when Campbell lost the battle, Nussmeier got it out.
Yeah, man. And again, guys, like watching quarterback. I think, watching LSU film so closely the last couple of years, my metric for quarterback play has been warped because Jaden Daniels was so incredibly consistent. Garen Nussmeier was so incredibly consistent. So, again, when you sit down and you watch like Connor Wegman versus Brady Cook, you're just kind of like, brother, I don't know. Wobbly balls going through the air, kind of slow decision making. I don't know. We'll see. Again, I don't want to get too cocky here because, I've gotten too cocky before, and then the worst has happened, right? Like again, Brian Kelly year 1, you beat Alabama, it looks like everything's going in the right direction, and then A-Chain and them just run all over you, and you can't get out from that offensive line, and you end up losing at College Station, right? We had the 7 OTs in College Station. Like we all know it's in 18, 20, 22. It has not gone well for you when you've played in that stadium.
I think it's right now one of your biggest hurdles because of the history and because last week, and we could talk about it coming back, you struggled with penalties at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we should, because that's something we haven't discussed. That was easily the biggest negative of this last game. I'll just say this. While I understand it's a bad spot for LSU, second conference road game in a row, those always, like if you look at the gambling numbers, those don't go great for the team playing the second road game in a row. So second road game in a row, you're playing A&M. The spot favors A&M, but on a neutral field, like I think LSU is objectively the better team. So now it's whether or not they can go execute it and can they overcome the kind of context of which the game is taking place. Start to break that down next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8880. I told you that Will Campbell is on the G team, and you can go check out the Gordon Gator Hunt. And went down in Lockport. Like, go and follow him on social media at Get Gordon. Guess who else is now? That's right, the Nuss Bus. For once, Gordon and buses teaming up. Nobody ever thought it would be possible. 2 erstwhile enemies deciding to unite under a common goal, as and the goal is to win football games and stand up to big insurance companies and get you what you deserve when you get in an accident. So go to getgordon.com, call 225-888-8888. You go to getgordon.com, you can fill out a free consult right there online. They'll get in touch with you immediately. You can see all the cases that they handle. You can see results from past customers. So when you get in an accident, get somebody that's going to fight for you. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon. Get it done.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them. Like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. All right, so we're looking at this game, breaking down some of the early elements at play, and how could you not talk about the pre-snap penalties? How many did it end up getting up to last week?
It was 7 in the first half.
Was it?
May have been 8.
I know. I'm pretty sure we had 10 penalties in the first half overall.
I mean, DJ Chester had 3, like either snap infractions or false starts on him. I know for sure.
And you said you didn't think it was particularly loud in that stadium last week?
I did not.
Because that's not going to be the case this weekend. Like that College Station is always loud, and
it's going to be turned up.
I mean, with a de facto playoff game, basically, like a playoff elimination, the playoff Thunderdome going down this weekend, they're all of A&M's and LSU's, I guess, for this matter. But yeah, like all of A&M's hopes riding on this game. Like if A&M proves the same way that LSU validated themselves to themselves by beating Ole Miss, A&M has that opportunity at home at night to do that against LSU.
Yeah.
It was 11, by the way.
11 total penalties?
Yeah. 80 yards worth.
Yeah. I mean, 11 for 80 shows you that a lot of that, majority of those pre-snaps.
Yeah, just a 5-yard.
I need you to explain DJ Chester, because I think we're probably up to double digit now, snap infractions or him double clutching the football. Like, how many of those did you have in your career, and what causes that?
I mean, I want to say I probably had like 4 or 5, something like that. 4 maybe. I don't know. I definitely remember 2, and then there's probably a couple others that I'm not remembering about. But I mean, it could be a number of things, right? Sometimes, like, let's say you lose. Okay, so I mean, it's generally going to be when you're going on silent, unless you just like do a normal false start like everybody else does, right? Like maybe you're actually going on 2 or something, but you just screw up, Like it could just be that simple for a couple of the ones that he's had, where the cadence, he just got a little antsy. Maybe he's thinking about something else, thinking about his call, and he just has one of those like involuntary flinches. Maybe he can't hear on the road. He's losing his water. I mean, I guess what I would say is, in my view of it, you have a first-year starter, a redshirt freshman, a very young player who has a lot going on, and because he's thinking and making calls and thinking about what technique he has to use and all these other sorts of things, that he's probably just getting a bit overwhelmed. And then obviously when you're in an away stadium, that's going to heighten everything. He's probably just getting a bit overwhelmed and losing his way, because there's some times where the rest of the O-line moves and he does it, and other times where he double clutches it. So he's just, I think he's just got a lot on his plate right now. And he's playing pretty well overall, but I mean that's a tough position to be a first. It's just because it's such a good O-line, we expect him to come in and be dominant. But that's a first-year starter. That's a redshirt freshman. Still a very young player in a lot of ways.
Do you want to hear what Brian Kelly had to say?
I would love to.
Okay.
Sometimes that's on the quarterback, that he's taken a little bit too much time. I think the ownership in that is the management of the entire offense. We can easily say it was the crowd noise. Sometimes we have to get into a better rhythm, and that's getting the receivers lined up quicker. I mean, sometimes it's a fire drill out there. Garrett is getting information, and all of that together, we got to clean it up, because that stuff can't continue to happen.
So that makes sense as well, in terms of, if it is taking a little longer than maybe what you're used to in practice, you get a little antsy trying to hold your water.
Or sometimes you're playing Tennessee and you got to snap the football, the game's going to be over, so you just snap it.
Yeah, exactly. I could have held my water. I mean, I think there were 3 seconds. I could have held it for a couple more seconds. But then there's also, it's also team. I mean, last week you had a wide receiver jump. And that's the classic, that's an old football coach faux pas from way back in the day. You should never have a wide receiver jump.
What?
Just look at the ball.
One of my favorite NFL stories. So we called it ice cream out, and I don't know where Peyton Manning got that from, but it was ice cream meant no play. Or I'm going to come up here, ice cream, and I'm going to just just try.
Yeah.
And Demaryius Thomas jumped off sides, and he comes back to the huddle and on ice cream, no play was called. He goes, I got to know, what were you going to run?
But that there even kind of gets to the point that I'm talking about, where that just happens sometimes, right? You hear the hut, and it's been so ingrained in you that you flinch, or that your body just triggers it's like a racehorse. If you played a starting bell in front of a racehorse, it doesn't matter what situation they're in, they're taking off.
If you have an air horn in front of me or T-Bob, we're probably going to jog somewhere.
Yeah, you've been conditioned. So I don't know, Jake. I don't have a great here's the answer.
Right.
I think it's one of those things where when it becomes as firmly in focus as it did last week, and you know that you have another big road game coming up, it becomes a point of emphasis. And that should lead to improvement, because when you look at LSU, everything that they've kind of highlighted as points of emphasis, they tend to get better on going forward over the next couple of weeks.
All right, since we have talked a lot of good about LSU, because they absolutely deserve it with how they've been playing lately, the one negative I would say from the Arkansas game, outside of the penalties, is how long it took at the line of scrimmage. They got down in the play clock at least 15 times, where it was 2 seconds.
Really? See, I didn't notice that.
Oh, it was multiple times.
Oh, wait. I do remember one time everybody freaking out. I was like, guys, don't worry. They're going to get a snap off.
They snapped it at 1 T. Yeah. It might have been double-digit times. It was not – I'm not saying it was quiet in there, but it's going to be – it was louder at South Carolina. It's going to be much louder in College Station. The pre-snap process has to be quicker, because I think you'll get flags this week. Yeah. You don't want to be in 2nd and 15.
Who do you think that's on?
Sometimes you can't get into the perfect play.
Yeah.
And I've been around great quarterbacks, and they always wanted to have everything covered up. They wanted it, to by the book. Everybody's got their responsibility. But T-Bob, sometimes you got to go fast so the defense can't try to set up to run the perfect play.
Yeah.
And if you're going fast, right, some of those things clean themselves up because the defense can't do as much. And so I think it's just a combination of everything. Like the process when, Garrett's getting up there, and probably because they have a young center, he's probably doing a lot of the mic declarations, or he's changing the mic declaration. Or if you had a veteran senior center, he's probably doing all of it.
Yeah.
You would have better experience in that.
No, I think that
Matt
comes
Flynn
down
and
to
Brett Helms used to almost fight on the field.
Yeah. Which that's crazy to me because just let the quarterback make. I've always been.
You
with
met
the
Brett
school-
before?
I know. Very OCD. I've always been of the opinion the center makes the initial call, and if the quarterback wants to change it, you have to follow that because it's because the quarterback ultimately needs to be the one who he needs to be the one. Like if it makes sense in his brain, just do it.
Yeah.
And the new responsibility based off it.
I do agree with you there. And the quarterback just he knows what everybody's doing. He knows fronts, he knows coverages. He kind of has an idea. He's got a better picture because he's at a different place on the field, so he can see it a little bit clearer than maybe the center can. And also, there's a lot of things like a veteran quarterback can eliminate. Like we're talking about trying to get in the perfect play. Rivers was always really good about he'd get to the line, he'd look at it and go, he ain't coming.
Yeah.
He can't come from there.
Yeah.
And if he does, he's wrong.
Yeah.
So he would eliminate like that.
Yeah.
Like that's off the board. He ain't coming.
Absolutely.
And you have a quarterback that I think can get a lot of that done.
So that's something to keep an eye on this week. And do they clean up the operation? Do they speed up the operation? More off the bench, closing hour one next.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. In fact, go this Saturday. This Saturday night, a little trunk or treat, 5 to 7 p.m. at All-Star Toyota, right there off of Airline in Goodwood. Trunk or treat, very fun. You decorate the back of your cars. You don't have to. You can just go trick or treat, right? Go get some candy, get in that holiday spirit. Shout out Miss Lisa Sessions and the rental partner hooking me up with the C-Gem Toyota Camry. Unfortunately, got to return it today. My kids are very upset. They were yelling at me.
You can always
yesterday.
trade it in.
I know. They were yelling. Well, I used to have the Camry, and now they're all yelling at me about why I got rid of the baby car.
Because we got babies.
Yeah, exactly. Even though I had all three in the back seat coming home from school yesterday. It was great. It worked, actually. They had the best time. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. All your vehicular needs under one roof at All-Star Toyota.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at Relief.
Let's get back to breaking down the film on Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Jake, what are you looking at over there with your felt tip? What's going on here?
No, I'm actually, so I'm just looking over some stats, some plays, some different position guys that, and I was saying as we were coming back, there's some guys on defense that probably won't get highlighted like, we talk about Wit Weeks and Braden Swinson because they've been awesome, that are a big reason why LSU defensively has gotten much better. Greg Penn.
Yeah.
Greg Penn is super solid.
Somebody who, again, for many years, too, we were kind of on the fence about.
Yeah.
Seemed a bit top-heavy, a step slow at times, but you're really seeing his potential now that he's put in better positions to succeed with a coach that can actually communicate the information.
Suggs coming over from Grand Valley State. He's giving you something in the interior pass rush.
Yeah, his pressure rate. What's his pressure? It's pretty insane. I can't remember the exact numbers, but yeah, he doesn't play a lot of snaps. But again, I used to hate facing those guys, and interior pass rush specialists, because they come in the game, they're fresh, and they have this one thing that they do, and they do it very well. And if you're an interior pass blocker, you're not the best pass blocker generally, and you're not used to going against like a pass rush specialist, and so. It's a change of pace that can cause you trouble.
So that'd be another player, Paris Shan.
Yeah, look, I feel like we've done a pretty good job of giving Paris Shan his love because he's been so solid. Him and Gio Paez, their rise. I know, and I still like Ahmad Bro. I still like all the other young guys, but those guys have taken over as your frontline interior guys.
Deshaun Womack's been good when he's been in there.
Yeah,
but Gabe Relaford.
Yeah,
Gabe Relaford. When I was watching tape, I'm like, man. Everything he does is full speed and with aggression. And he's kind of like he's a tweener in the best way possible because he can play inside. He can certainly play on the edge as well. That's a true freshman. We talk about Ahmad Bro, true freshman. Like these guys aren't playing like true freshmen. So like Penn and Womack and Relaford and Shan and Suggs, like those guys, again, they're not going to get a lot of the attention, but they are a big reason why you've been improved on defense because one of your weaker positions was now kind of solidified with a rotation that you like.
Well, also like look at Zy Alexander. We didn't even.
He's the highest graded player on your team, by the way.
We didn't even. I don't even think we mentioned Zy Alexander in the film review because he was so invisible in film.
Somebody
because
asked
they didn't throw against him.
Somebody said, "Did he play?" I said,
I secretly wondered if he played.
Somebody in the chat yesterday was like, "Did he play?" I'm like, "Yes." And when you don't notice that at corner. That's respect.
That is, it's the same thing as O-line. When you don't notice that they're playing or you don't notice them, that's when it means that they were at their best.
He is, right now, your highest graded player on your team, 86.8%. He's the highest graded corner in America right now. Now, he missed some games, but he's the highest graded corner in the country. So it's him followed by Garrett Nussmeier at 85.7. And then it's Braden Swinson at 80.8.
Wait, the highest graded corner in the country?
Zai is, yeah.
Oh, my God. Wow. Wow. And that's, guys, that's not to say that he's the best corner in the country, but like, that's insane. You don't stumble into that by accident. And there's also a reason why, since Alexander got back, the defense has felt so much more complete, because that is something you did not have previously. You had guys fighting, and Ashton Stamps and company continue to fight. And it's not perfect, but like, Alexander's been damn near perfect.
I mean, think about like the Ole Miss game, right? And you had Ashton Stamps on Trey Harris.
Yeah.
And then you're like, nope, can't do that.
Yeah.
And they moved Zay Alexander. When did you see Trey Harris again?
Yeah, you didn't.
And that's one of the best, statistically, it's the best receiver in the country. So he's been battle tested. It's not like he's just going against directional school U. Like even like you'll check out like different sites and lists of top corners in the country, and it's funny, like you go back 3 weeks and Zai's not on there, and then now you kind of search it up again and he's like top 3, like this. This I think it was 247 or somebody had, it was Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, Zay Alexander.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so starting to get some of that national love then.
Yeah.
All right, well, look, guys, that was a fun hour breaking down some LSU and A&M. It's a big one when on Tuesday we're already doing a full first hour breakdown. We're going to keep it going throughout the week. Coming up next hour, we're going to start with a little Saints talk. Relax, okay? Getting a little NFL.
We're doing what?
Chill out. Then OTB mailbag, and then maybe get into some of the college football weekend as a whole. And then, of course, still have Nick Underhill. We still have Hold the Mayo. So keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Hey, guys, when I tell you about oakparkevents.com, talking about a couple of incredible venues, okay? Of course, there's Oak Lodge with its beautiful brass and mahogany bar and those excellent New Orleans-y vibes. What about Park 73? A little more outdoorsy. Beautiful centerpiece outdoor fireplace that is the perfect home for your holiday party, for your business, luncheon, whatever. And, somebody yesterday was like, let Halloween have its time. Why are we talking about Christmas already? Well, we're talking about Christmas because the dates are filling up. There's only a couple left. We got a couple primo spots still available. So, you want a place that has all the festive decor, the beautiful Christmas trees, the s'more station, the fire, all that just ready to go, turnkey for your Christmas party? That's Park 73. Go to oakparkevents.com.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, October 22nd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 85. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll look at the latest injury news for the New Orleans Saints, and we'll recap some of the top games across college football. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Come in, if you dare.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town. With Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Aren't you scared?
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of OTB.
Now it's time to talk about the New Orleans Saints.
We really are going to talk a couple minutes, Saints, guys. Relax, okay? But first, Daniel Blunt asks, if LSU beats A&M, does that mean that Taylor has to give up his honorary cheer squad membership? Taylor, you... And this, I know this is maybe the meanest thing I've ever said to you. But
wait, like what's about to happen?
Yes, it's about to happen.
Okay.
Your yell leader energy is out of control.
Okay.
Out of control.
How so?
Out of control. I mean, does Taylor not look like a yell leader?
Yes.
1,000%. Could you see him in the white overalls? Woo! Doing all that stuff. He's been training. He's been training at the dad joke dojo with me. Now his jokes tend to be a little more ribald and risque, than the yell leader's jokes are. But yeah, I could see you sleeping on the floor with Reveille sleeping in the bed.
Absolutely not. I went on a rant about this probably 3 weeks ago about how much lack of respect I have for that dog and all things Texas A&M. Can't do anything about you. Daniel Blunt's pushing a ban because not only is this insulting, it is just wildly inaccurate. Some guys need to come hang out with me like outside of work. The perception is just like shockingly bad.
Yes.
Like how did these people function in an everyday life?
That
is shockingly bad.
I said it was the meanest thing I've ever said to him. I told you.
I don't think that's the meanest thing you've ever said. You said some pretty mean things.
Oh, wow.
That was just wrong. It's not the meanest thing, though.
Okay, I'll actually give you this. Personality-wise, I agree with you. You do not have the personality of a yell leader. I still maintain that you have the look of a yell leader.
So
you do have the look.
100%. You have a look of a yell leader.
Look
yes,
I can get.
just like a very clean cut.
Yeah.
Yes, clean cut white boy.
I'm looking
That's
at the
like
yell leaders. None of them. Maybe this is probably a requirement. Knowing A&M, none of them have any facial hair.
Alondra, I think you were going to say something differently.
There's one right there that kind of looked like Tay-Tay a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're all
That
clean
one.
cut. I get that.
Yes, yeah, but
No. It's like a blonde.
You know what yell leaders would not do? Leave their gun in an Airbnb.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. They probably don't believe in they're probably really
They probably want to get rid of the Second
They don't
Amendment.
believe in guns. That's
No.
an A&M thing.
No. Yell leader. Are you kidding me? Yell leaders probably love guns.
No.
Come on.
It's
No.
A&M. It's like a faux military school, aren't they? Are they military school? I don't actually know. I get confused about what they are or
Yeah,
not.
I don't know what these cadets actually are.
They're,
If they're like any sort of JROTC
Is
or
it
something
ROTC?
like that.
Are they ROTC? I don't know.
Are the cadets?
I don't want to disrespect are they service members? I don't know.
No.
They're just
Well, then why are they dressed up like cadets?
ROTC, I think, right?
Yeah,
Reserve
right?
officer training. Yeah.
So
I don't think they're actually serving in the military.
Okay, not in the military.
They have swords.
But they do participate in a military-style organization that develops leadership skills. So this is just stolen valor.
Wait.
And makes them way worse. They're just calling themselves cadets. And
they're not even in the actual military.
They're just pretending.
It's not even a but.
This is like a diet JROTC class.
Yeah, it's like below
it's not
ROTC.
even
Wait, but are ROTC classes not in the military technically? Any of them?
Well, you're I think if you're in college, yes. Obviously in high school, not. But
No.
in ROTC in college, I think you do have to be in the military or are part of it.
It's another thing A&M just made up.
Wow.
That makes it kind of worse.
That makes it way worse to
Yeah.
me. What do you mean? That's insane.
Okay, hold on.
They're just
ROTC
cosplaying.
Yeah, they're just doing theater reenactments, guys.
It's
These
not-
are plastic white rifles that they're carrying around. They
That's
don't
why
carry guns.
they don't want the Second Amendment. But the ROTC is not part of the military, but it is a college program that prepares students to be officers in the military.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's more than whatever the cadets are.
Okay, Joey LeBlanc said is military, you're considered reserves.
That's not what it said on Google.
Ryan Taylor said the College Station Militia.
So
okay.
then that's just regular citizen. Militia is just citizens.
I'm gonna do a little. Well, yeah, that was a joke. I think he was
literally.
making a joke.
Oh.
But I'm gonna not go all in on this. I've gone all in against the troops before, and it got me choked
They're not
out
troops.
by my guy Dane, former Special Forces member, actual Special Forces. I'll hold off until I do a little more research, see how I feel about it. But the early returns, I'm watching you, A&M. Also, credit to you, Alondra, because I'm sure the best way to trigger a yell leader is to tell him he wants to get rid of the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Probably just makes them no, I don't. No, I don't.
I mean,
just start yelling at you.
What about a yell leader makes
I would
you
not be
think that they are
intimidated by a
pro
yell
Second
leader
Amendment?
yelling at me.
I think every single.
it's just such a.
I think every single student at A&M probably loves guns.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Aren't they they're like rifle champions? It's like one of them in West Virginia.
West Virginia, 100%. I can see it. Their mascot carries the gun, the Mountaineer.
Krista says, my boss was in the Aggie Corps. Has nothing to do with ROTC or military.
So this is, so I went on a visit to Texas A&M. They were playing Nebraska when Nebraska was in the same conference, Big 12. And Nebraska beat them on a last second something. I don't remember the exact situation. And there was a portion of Nebraska fans that rushed the field.
In A&M?
In A&M.
Oh, wow.
And so some of the cadets that
An
had
invasion.
some of the cadets that had the swords, because they got swords, they had them drawn out and were trying to protect the field. And I promise you this is true. I could call my older brother. He's on radio up in Shreveport right now, but he'll step away.
So
they were defending the field with their swords drawn out from Nebraska fans rushing the field.
They were probably so polite about it. They're probably like, care for a fencing match?
2002. The game was on, I think, like TBS, if I remember right.
So Moscona, we talked about this on Moscona T. He was actually offered a Corps of Cadets scholarship. And he just texted, as someone who was offered an A&M Corps Cadet scholarship, I can confirm they are not officially affiliated with the United States military.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I just said.
I know. I'm saying I'm just looking for, I'm looking, you always want to check your sources, see if you can get more. I'm still not it still seems a little crazy to me. I still can't go all in. But again, we're trending towards stolen valor territory.
It's stolen valor. And
For sure.
I want to play at some point this Hunt the Good Ag video from last year because it's literally my favorite thing.
Do you have it loaded up right now?
I don't have it loaded, but I can find it.
Okay, yeah,
Hunt,
find it. We'll
the
play
Good
it.
Ag?
Yes, you don't remember this?
I don't know.
He went on AFR when we were playing A&M.
And he did a whole
Yell eater thing.
Yeah, he was a yell eater.
That was only a year ago?
He was going, or maybe it was longer than that. I don't know. Matt can fact check us again.
I mean, Hunt is definitely like the one person in this building that worries and cares about A&M more than anybody else.
He hates
I
him.
have like a deep hatred for A&M in my
Well, I guess
heart.
you do have your Texas stuff, but like Hunt will go on their message boards when they lose.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Okay, I don't do all that.
Yeah.
Well, I've done that.
One
God,
day
y'all
I'm
had a
gonna
lot
figure
more
out-
time
I
on
know,
y'all's
right?
hands. I don't even.
I mean,
think
Saturday
about
night
that. But
after
I don't,
a game,
but
it's either
I don't do
Texags or bed.
right. Well,
I'm not asleep.
or you just chase your losses in the Pac-12 contest back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, I had a bunch of partners sending me a bunch of Ole Miss.
Right. No, I'm saying that's more on me because I'm not a message
about to
board
send
guy.
you
But I would understand if that's, and I get why they're entertaining for sure. I'm saying that's not my thought process. I wouldn't go to. What would the Gator one probably be?
I mean, I guess it's just Twitter for me. The giant message board. I love drinking sad fan tears. Go to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, guys. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com. Though, again, if LSU wins this weekend and Hunt gets on Texags, I don't think he's going to need any Goodwood. But the point is, look, if you're not maximizing who you want to be, maybe you just feel like you have low energy. Maybe that's low T. Maybe it's not. Get into Goodwood, schedule the consultation, and let's figure out exactly what's going on. And then let's put together a plan to get to where we want to be. Okay? You don't have to just accept feeling this way. If you have ED, you don't have to accept it. If you're embarrassed, don't be. It's private. Okay? We understand. You're going to the experts. Get that confidence back. Okay? You know, walk around with your chest puffed out, feeling good again, working out, feeling good. Transparent and affordable pricing, customized plans. As I said, it's all there at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, YourGoodwood.com. All right.
A little disappointed in the Florida Gator. It's just called GatorChatter.com.
Gator Chatter?
Yeah. I was looking for something better. Something with swamp, maybe.
I mean, ours is Tiger Droppings.
Yeah.
Which is
at least unique.
It's very funny.
That's awesome.
Gator Chatter.
Don't talk bad about it, dude.
Taylor, what's been going on in the TD streets lately? Are they happy with the team this year, or are they
No,
upset?
I've been so busy. I haven't been on it a ton.
That's a lie.
Sad.
That is a lie.
Sad.
Tell the truth.
Sad.
What's the
I mean, I don't know
pulse?
how you couldn't be happy with the team right now.
Well, I mean,
I just never. Well, I mean, I don't know. I never doubt the internet's ability to be upset with stuff. It's
Yeah,
like
I'll tell you
when we
what, they have a
started the
Saints
show on
board.
Monday, people being like, "But the penalties are like Nussmeier almost threw these picks."
What I do now is you go to Tiger Droppings, you go to like forums. If Saints talk, I read that a lot because that one's funny. The normal one's kind of boring because LSU's playing well.
what's the best message board to go to after like Texags?
I think so.
It
or like Alabama after a loss.
Alabama, man.
Alabama.
I was thinking about this. And it looks like Saints are going to be pushed back.
No, we're not doing that.
I was thinking about this though.
Let's push it back to
Let's
tomorrow.
push it back to never.
Yeah.
No. We got to do it at some point today. But
We don't have to.
What a weird month for Kalen DeBoer. So you take over from God, and at first, can he do it? Is he ready? And then the offseason is this slow ascent into, oh yeah, he is that guy, right? Number one recruiting class, keeping Ryan Williams, like all these little wins throughout the offseason, really good early reports, teams bought in, all this sort of stuff. So the offseason is this consistent ascent where everybody's like, wow, maybe he can really fill these impossible to fill shoes. And then you get to the Georgia game, and it's the first real test, and you pass with flying colors. I mean, you beat Georgia in front of the home crowd in a 4-quarter battle. The world is your oyster. Alabama fans laughing at everybody. We're still here, even post-Saban, et cetera, et cetera. And now, after that apex You've gone loss, should have lost, or like lost, close game, lost.
Right.
And all of a sudden, like the mystique of Alabama is completely shattered. And while it looked like you had made it, now everybody's saying, no, not only have you not made it, but you're not that guy and you never will be that guy. And of course, that's like easy. Of course, it takes, whatever. The guy who falls up Michael Jordan is never going to be Michael Jordan. I know that. But it is still shocking coming off of that Georgia win, how in just 1 month, the Alabama mystique has been, again, completely shattered. Yeah. Like, think about how you feel as an LSU fan about the Alabama game now versus how you felt after that Georgia game, or like a month ago. It's significantly different.
It's different. It's different than it's been in the last, Saban was there 17 years.
Yeah.
Like even my senior year when we were the favorite, by the way, like that was the last time Alabama was a dog at home before the Georgia game.
Yep.
Like even that's like, hey, we know that guy on the other sidelines. We played for him. We got to be ready. And that was a great game.
Yeah.
Now, like part of this conversation for me is Alabama's going to be more human because they lost their demigod.
Yeah.
So like it's not that they're going away. And like I am not going to sit here and act like they're not going to be relevant. They're going to be relevant. They're going to be in the conversation. It's just not we're just not going to see the dominance. But I don't think we're going to see that from anybody. Like even Georgia. Like Georgia just won a big game, but I don't think we're going to see the dominance from Georgia, from Clemson, from anybody. And when you look at who like Alabama's going to be next year, they got the number 1 recruiting class in 2025.
Yeah.
They're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to dominate in this new era of college football that we're in like they did, right? I mean, if they lost a game, it was shocking. There was no chance in hell they were losing 2.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's coming back down to earth, but I think that's a lot of everybody's kind of coming back a little bit back to center. They're still going to be in the conversation. It's just you're not going to be able to go out there, be Alabama, and win every single game.
Georgia's still interesting to me. I need some other team not named Alabama to prove they can beat Georgia. Because, I mean, they're literally, like 50 out of 54, but every single loss is to Alabama?
We'll find out this year.
Like nobody else is beating them?
We'll find out this year, I think. If they run the table this year, then they are the leader in the clubhouse to be what I just talked about.
Yeah.
The team that looks like they are going to be the standard for a long time. And, again, I just don't know that you can be that to what it has been. But when you look at what they have left, okay, they've got their rival in Jacksonville in Florida, at Ole Miss, Tennessee, and then they finish up with Georgia Tech. I mean, that's going to be at least 2 difficult games. Georgia Tech last year was a 1-score game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's in Athens, so it changes the math a little bit. But if you go beat Florida and Jacksonville, you go to Ole Miss and beat them, you beat Tennessee, maybe Georgia is the new standard.
Yeah, I mean, well, it certainly looks like they were, but then last year kind of changed that, and they looked flawed this year, but then they go and do what they did last week, where that defense is awesome. All right, coming up next, got a little OTB mailbag. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com. communitysteelco.com. You need steel, go with the local guys over there in Gonzales, Louisiana, the experts for all your purlin, tubing, roofing, sheet metal, steel buildings, any steel accessories, trim, it's all there at Community Steel Company. It's all manufactured on site. It's all at the best price, and it's all with a live and local sales team that you can form an actual relationship with, right? You're not just an online order form. You're not dealing with call centers overseas or anything. You're dealing with people that are your neighbors that give a damn and can better serve you, be it a giant commercial project or something residential. Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, top right corner of that site, click on Community Steel. We tell you every day because they've been there for over an hour waiting on you to come see them in the showroom. But if you can't get there today, throughout the state of Louisiana, give them a call at 225-647-2020.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink,
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back to OTB. Let's go ahead and dive into a little OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet.
What the is the internet?
Hashtag OTB mailbag. How many Yell leaders could Wit Weeks fight off?
How many are there?
Yeah. 40, same as his number.
Oh, yeah, he's got that easily.
We need to play more Wit Weeks clips on here. I have one in the document, but, he's electric. We haven't played nearly enough Wit Weeks video and audio on here. That's on us. We're going to get that fixed. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Theoretically speaking, would you rather New Orleans get a professional soccer, hockey, or baseball team? I don't need baseball. I get my baseball itch scratched with LSU just fine. Also, MLB's a little too much to me. Like an MLS team could be tight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure hockey might be the answer for a lot of people. A lot of people enjoy going to hockey games. Obviously, I would choose soccer. An MLS team would be fantastic. You get a chance to go watch Messi and different stars play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would go MLS as well. I think I would go
smaller stadium.
Yeah.
Great vibes, great atmosphere.
I think so too. I don't think either of the other ones would work here.
I mean, none would work because we don't have the population to support another professional franchise.
Agreed.
But MLS, I would still rather.
I agree with you
MLS.
on baseball too. I think there's certainly LSU baseball in the state of Louisiana, but also think of many ULL's got a great program. Tulane's had a great program in the past. Louisiana Tech's got a good program, and so there's baseball fans, but they're loyal to college baseball throughout the state.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Favorite non-Halloween movie to watch this time of year? Look, we all know that.
Does it mean like fall vibes?
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
As Friday Night Lights are, when this weather starts to turn, this starts to feel like football. I mean, the Harry Potters always play at this time of year, especially the first one. Everybody loves those. I even started playing that. Well, I don't know. Last Friday night, I had nothing to do. My wife went to bed early. I played a little Hogwarts Legacy for the first time in about a year. That was fun. Harry Potter, mind. Alondra?
Yeah, I was going with Harry Potter. I can't think of anything else. Because to me,
Twilight?
Nightmare Before. Ooh.
That's a good one.
Twilight is a good one. That's a great call, T.
Is that like a call?
That's what she does.
That's
a song.
That's the song that defines. That's the song that defines.
1,000 Years. That song.
Twilight.
Oh, that one too. Yeah.
Okay.
I've died. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. I don't remember. I remember like the flow of the song, and if I heard it, I could sing.
The
it.
best videos are Robert Pattinson just like on press junkets, just being like, "What the hell is this movie that I'm making?"
He hates that movie.
He's like, "Why
Well, I
am
mean,
I
look
still
at what
in
he's done since then.
Yeah.
You know.
But also, it's like, why are we still in high school?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm 170 years old. I'm just
so
going to high
old.
school every year for the past century.
Okay,
like,
wait,
never
listen.
graduated?
Wait, listen to this. Listen to this. This is the song that we were referencing.
Y'all nailed it. I was just
Y'all
like,
did,
I was like,
actually.
there's some seance that T-Bob and
Well
Alondra
done.
are about to do. Like, what are we doing?
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. LSU can win only one. A&M or Bama.
A&M.
A&M, please.
It'd be on the road. It would be.
They haven't won there since.
And won there since 16.
Yeah.
Well, not even this year. I said this in the
I
summer.
just think the road quality win would be better for your resume. No.
I'm going to say Bama because they're already at 2 losses. So you would knock them out and you would leap into. It
But
would put you in the
A&M,
playoff.
objectively, A&M's the better win.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying A&M loss would not eliminate A&M. You beat Alabama, you do take them out of the playoff. There'd be 3 losses, and you'd be at 2 with an Alabama win and Ole Miss win. You'd be in the playoff.
Yeah, A&M's remaining schedule, I think it's you and Texas. So if you beat them, then Texas would give them their 3rd loss. I don't know. Just go win both.
If I lose to my enemy that is just truly better than me and has been a better program, I'm going to dap him on the back, be like, hey, good game. I can't lose to my little brother. He will hang it over my head for years. That's what it's like losing to Texas A&M. I mean, it's not like they would print the score on their cups or anything and cling to any semblance of success in that program. So, no, I'd rather lose to Alabama. They are a respectable football program.
Can you dap on the back?
I know. I was like, dap on the back.
I don't think you
Pat him on the back's what you meant.
Yeah.
I'm glad that was your takeaway. I'm really happy.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. What's the update on Taylor's gun?
Guys, I was explaining to him during the break, the mean streets of Walker are a little bit safer now.
Ooh,
we got it back. We got it back.
Okay.
Taylor's out here like a vigilante.
Yeah.
Like,
He
good
is
to go.
one of those guys that's just real horny to shoot someone.
Oh, dude.
Gonna go out of his way and do something real. He just wants to pop that thing
The
off.
other day, Victoria was like, I forgot to lock the back door. I was like, that's okay.
He's like, good.
Don't worry about it. But no, now I don't. Now if an intruder comes in, I'm good. I don't have to hide behind Victoria. I
Taylor
have my own
leaves
protection.
empty Amazon boxes on his front porch and just sits by the front door.
waiting.
just waiting for somebody to come try to steal it.
When my brother rolled my house the other day, I was telling you about that. Like he
Oh,
bailed
God.
early.
Yeah, dude,
No,
what are you
look,
gonna shoot your brother?
He bailed early because he's like we were sound asleep. I knew nothing, and he goes, "Dude, I heard you inside." I was like, "Taylor's gonna come outside." I was like, "No, I'm not."
Shoot me.
Yeah, but we got it back to.
Good.
The other night, I fell asleep with my door unlocked, and I woke up in the morning, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
I
that's a
freaked
bad
out.
feeling.
Oh, horrible feeling. I was like, "Shout out to God. He always has my back."
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Should Texas nix the cannon to the opposing jersey theatrics? So I don't know if they do this every game, but they've definitely done it twice on game day.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow and then Carson Beck, where they shoot the cannon through the jersey, and they've lost both times.
Yeah. It's also just not a good look.
Well, and then they did the planting the flag through the Baker jersey, which he did that against Ohio State, not you. So like, they also were like, we want to be a part of this, and I'm like, dude, it wasn't even involve you.
Somehow you make it about Baker. Unreal.
No, I'm saying Texas is making it about themselves.
No,
like that wasn't between you.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Which former Big 12 team in the SEC would you send back to the Big 12, and why is it Texas A&M?
I know. I was about to say A&M.
They don't belong in the SEC.
I think all three do.
I would banish Texas A&M from the face of the earth if I could.
I hate them, but I like the rivalry. I do not. I like
rivalry though.
You haven't won there since 18. We've literally just called that the biggest hump maybe that LSU has to get over, and this is a de facto playoff game in a lot of ways. Like, don't be such a hater that you can't admit what the game is.
You're never battling for like the SEC West Championship. You are, they're not. So it's like I always look at it, it's not postseason on the line typically.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Can you guys get Wit Weeks a NIL deal with Home Field so I can buy a Honky Badger shirt? I don't think that's going to be officially endorsed by anybody.
Yeah, fair.
In the general public, that nickname is deemed to be problematic. Funny, though. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Is there anything Chester could practice with to help the infractions, or is it just coach sitting down with him and telling him he's good to come down a little? I think in terms of like specific practices, yeah, you can practice, continuing to mix up cadences. I mean, obviously crowd noise is always going to be a thing. Maybe it's one of those situations where it's more though about just having it front of mind, being cognizant of it. Like, hey, like we really need to work on improving this, and then through that, improving it. We'll see.
I do think it is something that it is an issue. I'm not just talking about that portion of it. I'm talking about the entire process of on the road getting the everything quicker, so you're not panicked, so you're not.
Yeah, that would help. For sure.
Yeah, at the center, you're probably just sitting there like, hey, we got to snap this football.
Well, and that's what I mean. Look, and that's what Brian Kelly said, right? Basically, in that clip that we played, is the operation has to get cleaned up. Chris Ford says Fellowship of the Ring's an excellent fall movie. I agree. That's a good call, bro. Hashtag between my bag. How many Superior margs can you drink in one sitting?
1.5, and then I can't.
I mean, I could drink a ton, but two's gonna get you feeling pretty good. If you go past two, you're gonna be. I mean, it's you're gonna be drunk. You're gonna be inebriated.
My lips start to get a little numb after half of my second one.
Two's normally where I hit the brakes. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Does Mizzou have a real shot at beating Bama? I know Bama seemed weak this year. I'm so unimpressed with Mizzou.
Yeah, Mizzou should have lost to Vandy.
And granted, but it's like, but Vandy beat it. Like I get all the math, but like Jake said, I mean, Mizzou's kind of like they're just very discombobulated.
Yeah, it's not even like, oh, they should have won this, they should have lost that. You win the games you win, you lose the ones you lose. That's the obvious statement. But it's just turning on the tape and watching the process that they have of, reading a play and executing a play.
Yeah.
It was at such a high level a year ago, and it's not there. So I don't, and I credit, look, I mean, Brady Cook went to the hospital and came back and beat Auburn. That's awesome. That's gritty.
Yeah.
But I just don't know that you right now have the process offensively that you should enough to go beat an Alabama.
It's
certainly
in Tuscaloosa,
on the road,
right?
Yeah.
No. Had to go to most improved player for LSU this year.
Aaron Anderson, easily.
Yeah.
That's a good name to throw out there. I will.
I agree. Brian Kelly said that himself.
Greg Penn would be up there.
Yeah.
I do think Greg probably started higher though.
Yeah, without a doubt. Aaron was a non-factor.
He got taken out of the lineup last year.
Yeah, he was a complete non-factor last year.
I'm gonna say, okay. You know who I want to say is Major Burns.
That's a good one. That's a good one too. Yeah.
Him and Sage. Turns out if you
I think
played
him
him
and
in their
Sage both,
natural
yeah.
positions, look what
Sage
happened.
played really well on Saturday.
Who'd have thunk it?
Hashtag one more here. Or maybe a couple. Let's see. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Would Wolverine be a better nickname for Weeks? It's actually pretty. I mean, he has major Wolverine vibes for sure.
It would be.
He's a little more joyful than Logan is.
True,
but
he's always got a smile on his face.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really look like him either.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters.
But it would
But he
be
plays like
Badger
him.
adjacent.
Yeah.
Wolverine. Yes.
And he plays like him.
Yeah, sure.
Mad Men just out here just slicing and dicing. Has to go to Mailbag. How many GFs did 40 get this week? I've seen a lot of horny for Wit Week stuff online. A lot. And I get it. But there's a lot of it out there. Has to go to Mailbag. Who gets fired first, Napier or Freeze?
Freeze.
It actually should be Freeze.
It should be Freeze, but Freeze has a
Look, Billy's got him playing pretty
giant buyout.
pretty well right now. Certainly to how they started the season.
Oh, Braden Swinson is. I mean, he was also coming from a better starting point as well. Like he had been flashing, but he definitely upped his game significantly.
Yeah, he went from not like undrafted free agent to a surefire. He'll be at the Senior Bowl draft pick.
Yeah. All right, there it is. OTB Mailbag. When we get back, we got to touch on some of these Saints injuries, guys. Okay, chill out. Talk a little Monday Night Football. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
Go to ColemanRoof.com. Coleman Roof, Louisiana's most reliable, most respected, and most complete roofing company. Coleman Roofing and Construction since 1982, 41 years. Oh, that's bad math. 42 years of serving you. And it's crazy because up to this point, it's all just been word of mouth. Like, that's how consistently good the customer experience is, that you grow over nearly half a century to the point where you can do any size job, commercial, residential, anywhere in Louisiana. And it's not just the roofs. You do the construction portion as well. And now they've decided to team up with OTB to help preach the good word. I love it. So put them to the test. You need custom metalwork, gutters, everything. Any type of roof, it's all there at ColemanRoof.com.
Yeah, go to their website. You'll see right there on the homepage just an incredible commercial building that they've done. They can do commercial. They can do residential. They are your true one-stop shop, ColemanRoof.com.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day. And without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values:
committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
So, Taylor, you linked a story about Brandon Ayuk tearing his ACL.
I did, yeah.
And then you said, has a team ever had this much bad luck? To which I would say, well, what about the Saints? Who do you think has had worse luck, the Saints or the Niners?
You know, T-Bob, there's a slight possibility that I put that in there to compare the two teams.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. But actually, I don't know. We'd probably have to look because it's probably pretty close.
There too.
And it's interesting, though, because I got so then you start looking things up, right? We're going to talk to Nick Underhill, and I'll ask him about this in a little bit because he has a piece about this, right? Dude, classic Nick research project, going and looking at every single team's injury report over the last 2 seasons. And what he came up with, at least he wrote, that the Saints are the most injured team of the past 2 years. And that for the last 2 years, they suffered soft tissue injuries at a higher rate than any team. Now, what's odd about, like, during the first 6 weeks, Saints have had 20 soft tissue issues. Vegas has had 16. Pittsburgh 15. Tampa 12. Jacksonville 12. Houston 12. Carolina and San Fran 11. They're averaging about 3.5 guys per week with soft tissue injuries. But like, it's not good. That's obviously bad. Like I said, I mean, it's most of the league, but it's not like a massive outlier. And then the overall injury number is 41. New England actually leading the way with 50 injuries on the year. And then Tampa Bay at 42. And the Tampa Bay piece of this is interesting because I know there's some nuance here. Like, it's not just about like the volume of injuries. It's about who's getting hurt. And Tampa maybe hasn't had as many key players go down. But this does kind of reinforce a lot of what we've talked about where everything on the injury front, yes, does it seem to be, it's at the far end of being bad. Whether you want to say it's worse than the NFL or not, it's definitely like, you know, in that grouping of being near the worst. But it's still a poorly constructed roster. If Tampa suffered just as many injuries as you had, and yet they're doing fine. San Fran's injured all hell. They have a pace. Last year, the Packers were the most injured team in the NFL. They end up making the playoffs. Like, you also see amongst the people ranked around you that it is still possible to be better than what you have been. Now, some of this latest news not good. Rashid Shaheed out for the year with a knee injury. Paulson Adebo out for the year with a broken leg. Saints actually signed Marcus Valdes-Scantling. I don't know if there's, whatever. I don't have any great hope for anything like that, but they did. It's news. But here's the worst part about the Saints season. You look at this 5-game losing streak, and when you really sit back and reflect on it, and this is why people feel so helpless and nobody wants to talk about them, is it has been a consistent descent into excrement, just getting worse and worse and worse. That Eagles game, really pretty well fought. I mean, elite defense. Yeah, your offense didn't have it going, but you scored the touchdown to take the lead. You end up blowing it. You lose 15-12. Okay, then you get to the Falcons. You had them on the ropes. You don't give up an offensive touchdown. You play so well on the road, but then a 50-plus yarder at time expires beats you. But then you get to the Chiefs. It gets a little worse. You never really get anything going, but it's the Chiefs, right? 26-13, but it's the Chiefs. You get to the Bucks. You're going to be back at home. It's the Bucks, 51-27. Okay, now you're starting to panic. And then Sean Payton and the Broncos come in, and with Bo Nix in an offense that is not good, beat you 33-10 and completely embarrass you. So it is snowballing bad. And I don't think there's a world in which these Saints manage to pull the nose up. Between the injuries combined with the context of the rhythm of the season, this is a plane that is hurtling towards the side of the mountain. And I don't think I don't think you'll be able to pull up on that joystick hard enough.
So you look at the schedule coming up. You got 2 road games now. The next game's against the Chargers, and the Chargers are incredibly beat up as well. Receiver, edge rusher. There's a lot that they've dealt with as well. Then you go to the Panthers. So this is really your last chance to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
It's your last chance to do anything as far as positive momentum because, if you don't get those 2 games, where are you going to get the wins? You get, Atlanta at home. You get Cleveland at home. You get L.A. at home. I understand those are winnable games, but you got to get these 2, because these 2 get you started. These 2 get you back into the conversation. These 2 get you at 4-5 as you head into those games. And so the schedule definitely lightens up. I mean, we could go on the road against the Giants. Now, the Commanders game looks completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Packers, that's going to be tough. So you do have a tough 2-game stretch there. Then the Raiders and then the Bucks. But there's winnable games in the next 5. If you get 3 of those games, right? Does it do enough to keep you in the conversation? Maybe. But if you don't get these next 2 road games, and it's so hard to win in the NFL on the road, we know that. But if you don't get these 2, I don't think there's any hope of anything this year.
I mean, yeah. I feel you. There already is no hope. You let a Broncos team, again, that is okay. A really, really good defense. So I completely understand what happened there, but the Saints' run defense right now is absolutely abysmal. And it's sad because this was once the group that was setting NFL records for the most consecutive games without allowing a 100-yard rusher. And now you can just have your way with them. I mean, you let a Broncos team that is deeply flawed come into your home and beat you 33-10 on a night that really mattered. And so, no, I don't think there's any hope that you're going to get it done on the road against any of these teams. The problem is I don't know that I love next year's quarterbacks that much anymore. Shedeur looks good, but Beck and Ewers look kind of boring now. If your team was to draft them, you'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll talk myself into it. Nuss, we'll see where Nuss ends up, dude. He is climbing rapidly, but this is. I'm very interested. We're going to talk to Nick coming up here in a few minutes, about 15 minutes. Very interested to see where morale at New Orleans football is at, given the kind of waning interest level in a team that we're not even a third of the way through, or you are just at a third of the way through, basically, and it feels like everything's already done. All right, let's close out hour 2 of Off the Bench next.
Off the Bench.
Go to the Queen of Baton Rouge, thequeenbr.com, thequeenbr.com, your home for football. The DraftKings Sportsbook is such an excellent place to come hang out and watch games all day. They got wall-to-wall television. They got the bar right there. You can order food from the 1717 Restaurant and Lounge right there. As I always talk about, cash in, cash out. It's really easy to use the machines. You can always just walk out of the casino and go play games too as well. How about this? Our $100,000 Halloween Zoom Ball. Fridays in October at 6, 7, and 8 p.m. A total of 20 winners will be drawn for a chance to play Zoom Ball, where the top prize is $100,000. Our bonus entry days coming up also tomorrow, October 23rd. If you go in, you got a chance. So, what are you waiting for? Go hang out at the Queen.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Jeremy Fryer says, feel bad for those guys on defense and Alvin. Have some great players. I mean, do you though? I mean, I do think Alvin still obviously, look at the beginning. I think he had a lot left in the tank before the offense just completely fell apart. And he once again became the only thing that teams have to focus on. But, like, unfortunately, DeMario's done. Cam's done. Tyron's still making plays, but then, you know, dropping that pick last week felt pretty bad. Yeah. Do you have good players? I guess that's kind of, you know, some great players. I don't know. I mean, Fuanga seems like a good draft pick, you know. Trevor Penning, highest rated player on the team. In better news, let's watch a very funny clip of Wit Weeks. Michael Cobble asking Wit Weeks after the game about after the interception when he picked up Blake Baker, could he have slammed him to the ground?
I'm thinking like slam somebody. I mean, that's a. No, I wasn't gonna drop him. I could have though. I definitely could have. I mean, I definitely could get him. I don't know where he is, but I'd definitely beat him.
God. Oh, God, the energy. It's just infectious, dude. Like, that's somebody, I hear that. I want to have beers with that man.
Yeah.
Right away.
Is he old enough to have a beer?
Probably not.
No, probably not, right?
Well, if he went to Evangeline Catholic or Curtis or
That's
one
a
of
good
those
question.
schools, West Monroe.
I'm going to say he probably does drink beers. based off of the celly.
Wait. I didn't say he wasn't drinking beers.
Yeah.
He shotgunned a beer after he got the interception. I'm talking about, you know, could we take him out? You know,
Oh, good hit, man. See, but right there, okay, play it one more time. With the song.
I mean, I always am thinking like slam somebody. I mean, that's a. No, I wasn't gonna drop him. I could have though. I definitely could have. I mean, I definitely could get him. I don't know where he is, but I'd definitely beat him.
What I love about this, and want to make an actual point with that video beyond just enjoying the accent and the joy, is that is indicative of the difference between Matt House and Blake Baker. There was no companion. There was never would a player last year have felt comfortable in joking with or talking about Matt House like that. I mean, remember Matt House after the bowl win, trying to dap up the D linemen and them looking like they were going to a funeral despite just winning a bowl game? Wit Weeks is actively looking around to find Baker to tell him, like, I could have got your ass, man. Right there. So I love that clip. Love that clip.
Look, Brian Kelly loved Wit Weeks in high school. I've only ever been asked to come talk to one recruit ever, really, and it was Wit Weeks on his official visit, and sat down and had dinner with him and his family, and I was trying to sell LSU as best I could. That's the only time they've ever called me and asked me. He wasn't the highest rated guy, but they wanted him bad. And look, his dad played for Georgia. Yeah. From Georgia. His brother transferred in, and obviously, that helps the situation. But they wanted him, and I'm sitting there, and I remember hey, we got this kid, Wit Weeks. I'm looking him up. I'm like, okay, I think it was a 3-star maybe at the time. And I'm like, it's interesting that they're full court pressing this 3-star guy. And it's well, no, he just got misevaluated. This is somebody that is going to help us win football games.
Well, and he's got good bloodlines, right? An older brother worthy of scholarship and a little brother, right? I mean, the third Weeks brother is going to be here next year.
Yeah, his little brother, obviously, I think Ohio State and LSU are his too.
Yeah,
so
he's
another
down
stud,
to 2 or 3. Zach Weeks is his name.
But again, for his father,
Oh, he hasn't committed here yet.
No, I don't think so.
No, he's got a top 3, 2, 3.
What's his little brother rated? He's a linebacker?
Yeah, he's
3
his
linebackers.
brother's a 4-star.
Okay. Cool. We'll see.
Let's see. He is. I can get it in. Chill.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
4-star. Ohio State, LSU, Tennessee.
Wow. Okay. Let's go Tigers. Come on, baby. Finish strong. Nick Underhill next.
Off the bench.
Go to AgTemp Baton Rouge, AgTempBR.com, AgTempBR.com. All your AC, heating, and electrical needs. I tell you every single day about my friends over at AgTemp. We have been for years. It's because they've been proud partners of the show, and I'm proud to partner with them because you want to be associated with greatness. And go look at AccuTemp's online reviews, and you see what I'm talking about. This is a company that their customers are so consistently satisfied despite having over 3,000 reviews on Google. They have a 4.9 rating, guys. Unreal. And you're going to be blown away when you work with them. They leave no stone unturned, no effort. They leave it all on the field when it comes to fixing whatever your issue is. And if you're in the market for a whole home generator, they do that as well. Go to agtempbr.com today.
Yeah, you'll see the difference as soon as they show up. I mean, you're going to know exactly who's coming into your home. You're going to have a full profile of that person. You can trust AccuTemp, agtempbr.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, October 22nd. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect sunny skies with a high of 85. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll be joined by Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football at 9 a.m. Then 9:15, Devin Snow hops on the show as well. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Welcome into Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota.
Enter at your own risk.
We're bringing you the spookiest sports talk in town. With Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
It might even horrify you.
Live from the haunted Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome in. Hour number 3 here on OTB. And every hour 3 on Tuesdays, we open with our guy, Nick Underhill from New Orleans Football. And you know, Alondra, you could have kept the spooky music going, because I don't know if there's a more spooky subject than the New Orleans Saints right now, the injuries, everything that's going on. Nick, what's going on, man? How's your October rolling along? Oh, wait, do we have Nick's mic? Testing? Is it your Nick? Is it on our end? Are all our settings good to go, guys? Hey, try again, Nick. Say something. Oh, no, I don't know.
This thing is stuck. Hold on.
Hold on. I think it's on our end, Nick.
It is our end.
It's on our end, Nick. We're getting it. We're having a little technical difficulty.
I mean, this is par for the course when talking about the Saints right now, you know?
Yeah. Something going awry.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Try now, Nick.
Yeah, slow start. So that's part of the deal. Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Pre-snap penalties.
How about this, Nick? Today on New Orleans Football, help me understand this, because you have a good article where you did one of your insane research projects, and you look at the injury report of every team over the last 2 years, and try to determine the context of the Saints' injuries. You call them the most injured team of the past 2 seasons, but then there's other lines in here like New England's had 50 players injured, right? Tampa 42. So like what's
soft tissue. Soft
Okay.
tissue.
Okay, so
Most soft tissue. Let me I'll have to go back and edit that if I left you confused. Most soft tissue injuries, and they're averaging, I think, what was it, 3.4 per game right now?
3.5 per week.
3.5 per game right now. Yeah, and last year the Packers were at like 2.5, and they were the most injured team in the league. They had like 44 soft tissue injuries or something like that, and the Saints are on pace for like 57 or something like that. And it's a significant number. It's a crazy number, and those are the ones that matter because they're preventable. Like when Paulson Adebo breaks his femur on the field, like you can't really point at anyone for that because the man broke his femur. Like when Taysom Hill breaks a rib or, bruises a lung, you can't really point. Like those are collision injuries. There's nothing you can do about them. The soft tissue stuff has been insane. It's the go through practice, somebody gets injured on Friday stuff. That's kind of, that's the stuff that costs people jobs eventually. And it's out of control right now. It really is. They're going to get a lot more healthy this week. So some of the good news is coming, I think. But up until this point, this injury thing it's a legitimate topic, and obviously it's gotten to a point where it's it impaled basically their ability to run an effective offense to a certain degree. And those are insane right now. It's crazy.
Now, one more on the soft tissue then, and then we can maybe move away from injuries for a bit. But last year they had a lot, but it was not outlier bad. But they're saying that they haven't changed any processes. So, I mean, is it just bad luck? Is it like do you think that some sort of changes end up getting made to try to prevent these things? Like, what's your kind of interpretation of the data?
Well, here's the thing. If you want to, if you're looking at a 2-year sample and you want to call last year good luck, this year bad luck. Well, what if last year was just good luck? Like, what if you were just maybe not having the best system and things worked out the right way? Like,
that's a good point.
You could spin it either way you want. Like, it's just kind of, I think when guys are getting injured at this rate, something clearly isn't working. So, I think it's beyond the scope of bad luck at this point. If there's a couple of them early on or something, it's oh man, that was unlucky. But they're at a point where this has become a consistent theme, and every Friday now it seems like somebody's popping up on there. And on Fridays, it's basically a walkthrough. It's like a 90-minute practice where nothing's really happening. And I don't think it's just bad luck. I think Paulson Adebo breaking his femur is bad luck. I think Alvin Kamara getting a broken rib is bad luck. I don't think hamstring is bad luck. I think that's something that you need to look at and seriously find an answer for it.
I mean, so like, what do you do? How do you fix the issues that they're having with it? I mean, like, what is the next step?
I think you got to look at everything you're doing with, they got all the data in the world. I think you really got to dig into it and just kind of figure out what's going wrong. And these are high paying jobs. So that's I'm not a sports scientist, so I don't know, exactly everything that goes into it, but they have those guys on staff. They have analytics people on staff. And I know they are looking at it at the front office level. I know that like a lot of people are studying this right now. It's become a priority in their building. Whatever the answer is, they got to get to it because this is undermining their ability to win, maybe more so than any other thing. And you can call it, injuries an excuse and next man up and all that. But like, here's the reality of the situation. When you're managing your team the way the Saints do, like injuries can't really be part of you have to find a way to prevent them because what you're doing when you're kicking the can on contracts and you're restructuring all that stuff, it's never, they got to cut Alvin Kamara, they got to cut Marshawn Lattimore, they got to cut Ryan Ramczyk. It's the guys behind them that get cut, and then you're bringing in league minimum players. So then when you have an injury, you don't have the depth to overcome it. So injuries can't be part of your just part of your scope. Like you aren't a deep enough team to do that, and it's a decision you made starting back in 17 when you went on this path with the cap. So that is something that it should be next man up, and most teams do cover their injuries. I think the Saints are at a point where it's beyond that, but like just the basic structure of how they're doing things, it's not an excuse. It's a consequence of that action, and you can't have it. So you can't have hurt players because the next guy up isn't as good as the next team's next guy up.
Nick, so one thing that is kind of stark or really just like hits you in the face like a ton of bricks is if you go back and just look at the entire season's results and you look at the rhythm of the season. And I know it's 5 losses in a row, but it's not just that. It's 5 losses in a row that are kind of like an ever increasing descent into madness, right? Philly game was good. Atlanta game was good in a lot of ways. Kansas City game wasn't bad, but it wasn't god awful. Then it gets to god awful, and then with the context of Peyton and who the Broncos are, it's like the worst yet. It's just like I don't know, Nick. I mean, you are hurtling at the side of the mountain, and I don't know you're going to be able to pull this plane up.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game's really critical. I really do, because it could end up being the type of game that if they don't come out and they play with the effort they had last week on defense, I think it could become extremely demoralizing. Just the style of football that the Chargers want to play. They want to run the ball. They don't want to use a lot of Justin Herbert. They want to just run it down your throat. And if you aren't stopping the run like that, you could look up and be at 250 very, very quickly. And if it's that type of game, those are the type of games that are soul breaking to a team where they're just running down your throat and you can't do anything. And the thing I think, and you guys would know this better than me, you were in those locker rooms and all that stuff, but I don't think people sit around and say, you know what, we're quitting. Like, I'm not playing anymore. Right. We're quitting. I think what happens is it starts to chip away at your motivation, and your 100% just becomes less than what it would be if things were going well. And it just becomes harder and harder to show up and find that full effort. And I think a lot of people go in wanting to play good, wanting to try, but it just isn't that. When you reach down for something, maybe it just isn't there. And I think if you keep losing games, that's what happens, and that starts to erode a little bit. I think it's imperative that they play good on offense this week. You got to score some points to hide this run defense. It's a legitimate liability. And, one of the good ways to do it, if you get a lead and you aren't trailing the whole game, they can't run for 250 on you. And maybe they have a chance of doing that. I think Rattler's going to start, but I think Ruiz is going to be back. I think Taysom Hill is going to be back. Chris Olave, Pete Werner, and Lucas Patrick. So you're getting 5 starters back on your team. Maybe there's a chance to actually evaluate Spencer Rattler this week with a little bit of time and protection. I think some of his decision-making last week left something to be desired, but, a little more help around him. Maybe you get a look at him. So maybe they have a chance to do it. But, yeah, I think it's imperative. And, for me, if you want to ask where the breaking point is if they're going to make changes or whatever. If you lose this one and you lose to Carolina, I think it has to be over at that point. You can't lose can't lose 7 games in a row and have the Falcons coming into town for a home game where it's going to be they'll pack that place out, and you can't allow that to happen.
Look beyond the results, Nick. Okay, expand your mind. You're being too narrow-minded here.
I mean, if you lose to the Chargers and the Panthers, that's
whoa! I don't like the way you implied that. The Chargers, sir, are 3-3. You could never, okay, sir.
I mean, look, I think they look okay too, but it's really more the Panthers game. I think Derek Carr will be back for that one. If you lose to the Panthers, that's
for sure.
And then at that point, you really got to start looking at the draft at that point. If you lose 7 in a row you're trying to win, you have to at some point say, okay, this is over, and keep looking for it. I deleted a tweet last night because I couldn't deal with people, but their season still is technically alive right now. It is the Bucs that game. That emboldens them to stay on their path. If people want them to look for draft picks, they would probably need to lose the next 2. Something needs to happen for it to feel like it's over. I think that would be the catalyst of, all right, this is not working, and they would have to admit it at that point.
I mean, the window being open thing, Taylor was just talking about during the commercial break. Tampa did have Godwin and Mike Evans go down last night. So,
yeah.
I don't have any faith, to be clear. I don't have any faith, but I do understand
the next 2 games, though, are the ones that you have to have.
Yeah,
they're on the road in the NFL, but still the Chargers are beat up right now. The Panthers are god-awful. Your schedule lightens up a little bit, and it starts here on the road, but still, doesn't matter. These are your 2 opportunities, and if you win those, you are 4-5 with at least a pulse.
Yeah, I mean, the schedule gets really soft, but I can't buy it. I can't look beyond the results right now. I gotta see some results before I can do that.
Me too. What's the biggest bright spot on the team right now? Is it Fuanga?
Biggest bright spot on the team right now.
How's Fuanga? I feel like he's doing okay. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been good. I would have said Alante Taylor, but some of the tackling's been spotty on defense the last couple of weeks. It's kind of hard to highlight anyone there. It's Marshawn Lattimore. It really is. I think he's playing some of his best football. And his back, was kind of, I guess he put his own back against the wall, but I kind of had low expectations coming into the year, just kind of given how the last 2 went and then how things were playing out. He obviously went out with a hamstring injury, and I never know what to expect with his injury situations. But he's been just at another. People aren't even throwing at him. He's at a different level right now. And if they were to tear it down, I think you get a decent asset for him. I think he's like rehabilitated that value quite a bit, and I think he looks really good.
So that was gonna be my next question. Do you do any mid-season moves trying to amass assets? Do you start to let some of these vets go find their way? I mean, at this point, I feel so bad for AK. You know he could still play. I know he wants to stay here in New Orleans. And you saw what he could look like if you actually have other weapons that you have to account for. But, I mean, it's just right back to now. He's the only thing defenses have to worry about, and they're just zeroing in. And he's playing hurt.
They're talking again. So, maybe that goes a different direction, on the contract. Nothing serious, but, like, the door's back open. I think it would take the next two. I really think it's dependent on the next 2 weeks. As it sits now, I would say no. I'd say no chance they do it because this is a team that truly believes just getting to the playoffs and, things happen there. And as much as I hate that, every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah, but the Bucs last year are a good example. Like, they weren't a great team. They were fine. They got in the playoffs. They won a game. They almost won a second game.
Yeah.
So as long as they have something to chase, Mickey Loomis and the Saints, they're going to chase it. Like, that's just what they do. So I think it would take the next 2 weeks, and then I think the trade deadline is November 5th. I think it's after that Carolina game, that Wednesday. So I really think it would depend on what happens the next 2 weeks. I mean, they just signed Valdez-Scantling, so they're bringing in help. They aren't trying to get worse or anything like that. Sometimes it feels fruitless to continue the pursuit. It does feel like maybe you should amass assets. For the long-term health of the team, I think if you're realistic about where you're at, it kind of feels like you're spinning your wheels a little bit, and it might be smart to take a step back a little bit to get too forward. But as it stands right now, I don't think they're going to do that.
Was there anything over the last, game offensively with all the guys that had to play because of injury that was encouraging, be it Bub Means or Mason Tipton or Spencer Riley, anything that you were like, okay, it wasn't great, but I can see that there's signs of life?
Yeah, so like Bub Means, I thought the first game he ran some really good routes, and there was some decent detail on him, and he was doing some things to kind of create separation that I liked quite a bit. So I was encouraged by that game too. I didn't really see anything a lot offensively that I felt great about. I think Kool-Aid has a chance. I mean, there's times where he looks a little bit lost, but I kind of like the idea of getting him on the field now, especially as things aren't necessarily going great overall. Like, if he gives up a player or two, like, doesn't feel like the end of the world given where the season's at right now. So kind of, obviously you never want to see somebody get hurt, and I wish his opportunity to get on the field came a different way, but I think getting him out there and seeing that, and then this is going to open up reps for Alante on the outside too. And if you eventually decide maybe this offseason, hey, now's the time to trade Lattimore. They tried to do it last year. The market wasn't really there. He's playing. He looks good. People see it. Now you got to look at Alante on the outside, and you can maybe really know what that's going to be. I think in those base downs, he's going to be on the outside, and then Kool-Aid will come in and play outside. Alante will move to the slot. I think some of those things look okay. Jordan Howden getting thrust into action a little bit gives you a chance to see if you need a safety this offseason. So, I mean, there are some things that you're seeing a little bit of, and I like seeing the tight ends kind of come to life a little bit too. Foster's been playing well. I think Juwan fits better with Rattler than maybe he does with Carr. Yeah. So maybe that's more of a just how the quarterback attacks the field thing there. The lack of targets for the tight ends. But I mean, they're few and far between, man. We're kind of grasping at straws here for
Jordan Howden's,
Yeah.
If he's what it's indicative of the times, alas. But if you want to stay on top of the times, New Orleans Football remains your best resource. Constant news, updates, inside information. I'm a proud subscriber. I have been for years. You should be as well. Nick, did you ever watch It's What's Inside?
It's What's Inside. What's that?
Did I tell you about that on Netflix? Oh, did I tell you about we didn't talk to it's a good, fun psychological thriller that just came out 2024. I'd recommend it.
All right, I'll put it on the list. I got an update today. I'm going to watch it.
Hell yeah! All right, Nick. All right. Well, thank you, man. You have a great day. Enjoy your off day.
Yep, take it easy.
All right, later. All right, when we get back, we got our guy Hold the Mail for some spread lines here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, guys. That's the phone number, 925-8552. That's the number people have been calling for over 50 years for all their plumbing problems or plumbing upgrades, bathroom remodels, tankless water heaters. It's all there for you. It's a really good gift idea, actually, for the interior designer in your relationship, whichever one of you cares about that stuff more. Say, hey, let's redo the bathroom. Hell yeah. Let's go. Central Plumbing. That's your answer. But remember, anything goes wrong, 24/7 emergency service, commercial, residential, licensed, bonded, insured, excellent warranty, flat rate pricing, so no surprise or hidden fees. It's all at Central Plumbing. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org.
225-925-8552, 24/7, weekdays, holidays, game day, whatever the situation might be. If you have an issue, if you have an emergency, we'll certainly come in and fix that. Go check out what they can do for you in the upgrade business as well, centralplumbing.org.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales service and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Congratulations to Kevin Heltz, senior from Baton Rouge. Kevin is the Week 8 winner in our 2024 Pick'em contest. He wins a Hooters wing party for 10 people. Don't forget to make your picks for round 9 by Thursday at noon. Weekly winners will receive a Hooters wing party for 10 people. And the season-long champ will receive a 75-inch 4K flat-screen TV and a soundbar, plus free Hooters for an entire year. It's the 2024 College Football Pick'em presented by Hooters. No idea where T-Bob went? There he is. Run.
To be fair, I didn't know
Run.
we were back either. I was deep into.
I was just reading a promo just out loud to practice.
Good job.
I didn't. You know what? Like in my mind, I didn't even hear you.
Let's read another promo. Trash Rangers. Go to trashrangers.com for all your trash pickup needs, guys. If you're a business owner in the listening area, well, guess what? You need front load dumpsters anywhere 1 to 6 times a week. We got you because we understand the flexible needs of business as we are a local small business ourselves here at Trash Rangers. And if you need residential pickup, you live in Livingston or Ascension, make the switch today. TrashRangers.com. It's very easy. Remember, they're reliable, they're efficient. They even text you the night before and you never get to pay your cans again. And unlike these national companies who keep the trash here but take the profits out of state, their profits back into the community. Churches, little league teams, all that. TrashRangers.com. Devin Snow, hold the mail. What's up, Dev? How we doing today, brother?
Yo, we doing good. What's happening?
Doing all right. Very excited.
How many bathrooms y'all got in there?
How many what?
Bathrooms.
Three
Yeah,
on the top
3.
floor. A handicap and a woman and a men's.
Yeah, T-Bob always takes the handicap one, always.
Well, I don't see anybody in a wheelchair here, so I'm going to allow it, I'm a big guy.
What would you do, though, T-Bob, if somebody, was knocking, and you're like, 1 second, and you open the door, and they're in a wheelchair?
Just grimace. Just go, oh, my bad, dude. I didn't, I've been coming here for years. You're new here.
Wow.
Where'd you roll in here from?
Jeez, Pete.
Sorry.
You had to. I get it.
Absolutely.
You're just sitting there. Wait.
Here's the problem I have. So sales is across and 1 floor up from us, and I'll catch some of the sales team coming to the 3rd floor and using our restroom, and you know what they're doing in there, and just walk out.
It's a large bathroom, dude. You want space. You want space.
No, I'm talking about the other one.
Oh, using the back room?
There's restrooms on the 4th floor.
Yeah, a little less traffic.
You go blow that
traffic.
up. I don't care. This ain't your floor. Get out of here.
That's the thing about bathrooms, man. It's just once you're around enough, you try to find the one that feels best to you, and that's just
absolutely
that's
and
a
you stick
bathroom
with
thing.
It. Yeah, you stick with it, dude. It's just it's a way of business.
When I worked in the car business, I used to go use the bathroom where the mechanics use the bathroom because there was less drama. It was a little dirtier, but there was less drama, less line, less time spent in the stall because they had to go work back on the cars.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely dirtier, but it makes more sense.
It's a natural. It's it's just a part of the natural office ecosystem. Finding your home where you are comfortable. But no, Dev, you asked me how it's going, and I mean, on one hand, it's going great. LSU looks awesome. If they win this weekend, then already they have better odds than nearly anybody in the SEC to make the playoffs. They're like 37%, whatever.
Texas and that might be, is that it?
Who's better?
Yeah.
I think maybe only Texas.
I think Georgia's right underneath.
Yeah, Georgia's right underneath. They might be like 35% of your 32. So on that hand, things are going great, Dev. And then you have the Saints, who are just completely imploding and are hurtling towards the side of a cliff, and I don't know how it gets better. So,
it's so bad that fans, they saw a tryout post, a fake public tryout post, and it's so bad, seriously, to where they are genuinely waking up that morning with their pads, their academy cleats and helmets, and they showing up to the facility thinking that they can make a difference. That's how bad this team is.
Wait, did somebody actually show up?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah.
Willie Gay tweeted out something about guys, this is fake. Y'all got to stop showing up. Yeah. And then as he tweeted
it was a good Photoshop.
He
whoever made
subtweeted
it.
himself and was like, I just passed another guy that showed up for the tryout.
It definitely it was a good Photoshop whoever made it. Because even I was like, oh man, this looks official, but where you knew was dead wrong. I mean, on top of just that would never happen mid-season, but they were like Mickey Loomis, Dennis Allen, everybody's going to be here. If there is ever a public tryout, you are not getting anybody of actual importance at the tryout. That should have been your first.
The thing that fans getting onto is what
5 or
happened
6.
over 20 years ago, which is the beer man. So fans are thinking that in their head. They're like, I could be the next beer man.
True. Do you have world-class speed? Are you that's the thing, right? Like, are you just sitting there with world-class speed, like Michael Lewis was? I don't know. Maybe so. That would be one of the few things that could change the vibes of this season. Would it be if you found a Vince Papale? And like maybe the team sucks, but you got just a real Yat out there suddenly putting on the black and gold, making plays on special teams. Because otherwise, everything sucks right now.
The teams that Beerman played on, like before he got to the Saints, the Louisiana Bayou Beast, New Orleans Thunder. He went back to the Louisiana Bayou Beast, and then he went to the New Jersey Red Dogs.
I was pissed.
And then he went to the Saints.
I remember when we went to the Red Dogs. I was pissed.
Wait, what league was it? What league was all that?
I don't even. Let's see. The Louisiana Bayou Beast was a team in the Professional Indoor Football League, the PIFL.
Oh yeah, the Piffle.
Okay.
Good football in the Piffle.
John Forcade was the head coach.
Is that what the Shreveport Battle Wings were in?
No, they were in like the arena.
Oh, that was actual arena.
Yeah, that was actually arena. Yeah.
I thought it was like Arena Division II for some reason.
They played in the PMAC in 1998.
Damn.
Yeah.
The only thing that would have been funny if they had the public trial. Have you ever seen the episode of Always Sunny where they have the public trial for the Eagles? I feel like there's some kinship between New Orleans and Philadelphia. You definitely could have. There could have been some great content for Team Mayo to show up at the tryouts and see what it was all about.
How did the Saints not capture one of these people on camera showing up for the tryout? Like, that's all I want. I just want to see what one of them looks like.
Because
just
they're
one.
Embarrassed, probably because they're embarrassed about the fact that people thought it was real. I don't know.
Okay.
Devin,
well, we could use a laugh. I don't know if the Saints know that, but we could use a laugh.
Are you looking beyond the results like Mickey Loomis is telling us to do?
No. Our roster is it's so mid, dude. Like Nick said it best. You don't have backups that are better than other teams. But like, all right, look at Tampa. They just lost Godwin and Evans. And who's their third receiver? Sterling Shepard. We don't have a Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
We don't have that. So
Valdez-Scantling.
it's just go look at the Lions on Sunday. I could talk about this forever. Go look at the Lions on Sunday. This guy, Brian Branch, I was telling my friends before the game started, I said, I guarantee you that Sam Darnold throws a pick to Brian Branch. Reminder, we drafted Isaiah Foskey 4 picks before this guy.
Yeah. What's been the mood in spread quarters? Has rage started to turn to apathy yet? Because I try to bring up the Saints on this show and I get shouted down by the room and by the chat.
Oh no, they want to talk about it, but a lot of the calls like this past week were, how are we gonna live on like this? And I'm telling these dudes, I'm like, well, brother, I want to live to 70, 80, 90 years old. So yeah, I'm going to live on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like this is like depressingly, this team is just bad. So it gives you more clarity. But my favorite part about it is the defense, which has looked awful the last few weeks. They're not even that injured. I mean, yeah, you had the Debo thing happen.
I know.
But you really were only missing Pete Werner.
They're more just poorly built.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's just what it is. It's just not a talented team, man. And the coaching's even worse.
What about the Tigers, dude?
Love them.
How about it?
Wit Weeks. Wit Weeks eats footballs for breakfast, dude. This guy, he just had me ready to run through a wall. It was exciting to watch. It really was.
That's who we need to work on getting in spread quarters because he is electric with a microphone in front of his face.
A couple things. I saw him like a few posts on Instagram from the call-in show. So I'm definitely gonna hit him up.
Let's go. Go ahead.
And then Miles Brennan just followed. So I'm gonna hit up Miles Brennan too because he's got a story.
Yeah, absolutely. Miles has a great story. Miles married my cousin. That's my partner. I love Miles.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So if you want me to, help facilitate, let me know.
Yeah, dude, I'd appreciate it, man. That would be great.
So what I saw the other day, Guggenheim He became crap. He has 3,000 career rushing yards now at Nichols. And it's like first, second, or third maybe in school history, something along the lines to do it. So shout out to our guy Colin Guggenheim, also a former Spread Quarters guest.
Yeah, I'm going to his game against Southeastern. I think it's in November. He's playing Southeastern. I'm going to that game. He's hooking us up with tickets. Nice. Dude, what's crazy about Guggenheim is he originally committed to Army. And, look at what Army's doing.
Yeah.
And I can only think, man, Guggenheimer could be at Army right now.
Yeah.
On that stout team.
By the way, second colonel in Nichols' history to eclipse 3,000 rushing yards for his career. So shout out Colin Guggenheim. That's awesome, dude.
Who was the other?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. It's not Guggenheim.
It's a good question.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure.
Just kidding.
Another thing I wanted to mention, it's looking like this. Well, it's gonna be unless he gets hurt. It's looking like the Saints are gonna play Jameis in the Dome. So week 11, Browns Saints, Jameis return game, Jameis starting.
Yeah, we all know what that means. He's gonna go off.
Yeah, I mean, I miss Jameis. At least he was fun. Good locker room guy, great vibes all around.
You know what? We can't have this Saint. Not with Dad. We can't have the Saints bad juju, bad vibes. We just did it with Nick.
Spencer Rattler.
I'm gonna change the subject real quick. Is that cool?
Yeah, got him.
All right. NBA starts tonight. Pelicans start tomorrow. The Pelicans just signed Trey Murphy to an extension.
True.
$112 million extension. So he's going to be on this team for a long time. Where are we feeling about the Pelicans? How are we feeling?
I feel good about the Pelicans. I think Trey Murphy's hurt right now, huh?
I mean, he is
out for
reevaluated.
He is, but he's at least going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe this wasn't the good vibes that I wanted it to be.
No, well,
and Brandon Ingram's still on the team, dude, and Daniel Tyson's our starting center. I don't know, man. I don't know. And
it was a good contract they gave to Trey Murphy. It wasn't even though it says 100 million, it was a solid contract. I'm not as big on Trey Murphy as I'm in the small percent.
Oh, wow.
On Trey Murphy.
I think you're a Trey Murphy truther? You don't think he's that guy?
I can only – hey, your dad says it all the time. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately in the playoffs? You can't make a shot. One of the most streaky dudes on the team. Okay. Granted, when he's hot, he'll the whole place will set on fire. But streaky and shooting, and nobody ever wants to talk about it. But that's all right. It's a good contract. I'd rather sign him than have him go somewhere else. But so that's where I'm at on it.
Ooh, New Orleans sports. We'll see, man.
But yeah, Herb's starting right now at the 5.
Yeah, I know. That's what they're saying, right? I mean, the problem is, like, that worked when Golden State had the best shooters in history. Can you go that small when you don't have the best shooters in history? We'll see. Maybe Zion's enough of such a mismatch that he changes it and makes it work, but we'll see. We'll see.
Man.
I'm excited to see Zion, dude. He's gonna start hot. So sad about what happened last year because he truly played so many games and put the team on his back. Even in that Lakers game, it was an amazing performance. He put him on his back so much to where he got hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see Zion this year, man. Dude, I still believe in Zion. He's still a generational talent.
Me too.
Yeah.
He's got to stay healthy. Come on, baby. Oh, my God. Got to stay healthy. Got to stop. It's just everywhere. Okay. Dev, you have a great day, my friend. HMSports.com/shop for all of your merch needs. They got incredible stuff up there. Check them out on YouTube, Spread Quarters. You already follow them on Instagram and Twitter, but if you don't, do that as well. Dev, thank you so much, man.
All right, see you later. Happy Taylor Swift week. Happy Taylor Swift week.
Oh, yeah. Taylor Swift week. It's coming to New Orleans.
Oh, whoa, nice. Hell yeah. All right, cool. All right, Dev, later, brother. All right, more OTB next. Take the info story of the day.
Off the bench.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction for all of your outdoor construction needs. You want to build a custom pool, you want to build a spec pool, where there's a number of different templates that you choose from. Then you choose some detail work within the templates. They're still really custom in some ways. You want to build any size, type, or fence, outdoor kitchen, outdoor living area, pergola, bulkhead, put in turf, put in a putting green, all this and more. Any of your outdoor dreams, construction-wise, your answer lies at Pinnacle, where we understand, look, we build the spaces, you build the memories. And it's the quality of the work, the efficiency of the work, but it's the artisanship, guys. Real beautiful stuff. That's why you need to go check out the gallery online at pecbuilt.com. Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
Yeah, it's residential or commercial, right? So they can help your outdoor space at your business. They can put turf at your business. They can do all the things they do at your house at your business. Check it out all online at pecbuilt.com.
The only thing scary about the deals at Bayou Ford is if you miss out on them, like $15,000 off F-150. Bayou Ford has $15,000 off Ford F-150. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction.
Well, I went down to the Grundy County auction where I saw something I just had to have.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back. I'm trying to see if the Washington Bullets had a bullet on their logo ever. I'm seeing some reaching hands for a rebound. I guess they actually never did. I had a logo made up in my head. I don't think they ever had a bullet logo.
Yeah, we were trying to think.
Or whatever that's
we were
worth.
talking about NBA players and Valanciunas and like where'd he end up? And he's in Washington playing for the Wizards. Then started a whole conversation. Are they the worst professional franchise?
The White Sox are pretty bad.
Yeah, but they've won titles.
They've got titles.
You're right.
And they've got, a long history.
The Pelicans would be up there, but the Wizards are worse for whatever that's worth. Who else would be god awful? I mean, the Atlanta Thrashers are pretty bad in the NHL. That's why they don't.
So I can think of an NHL team that just went away was the Arizona Coyotes.
Were they never good?
0 conference championships, only 1 division championship in their entire existence.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
It's pretty bad.
Where'd they go to? Are they?
They're Utah.
They're Utah now.
They're Utah.
Okay. Yeah. NFL is. I mean, there's a handful of teams that have never won Super Bowls.
Bills, Vikings.
Yeah, Bills have been.
The Vikings have been good too. Like they've been to them.
Oh, Vikings have been to a ton. I mean, the Purple People
Jaguars.
back in the day for
The Browns. I mean, the Browns have history, but
Jags.
The Browns, for as much history as the Browns have, they've been pretty
Detroit.
damn ineffective, dude.
You know what? You know who also plays into this conversation is the Clippers.
Yeah, god awful. Just a recent little run of success, but god awful. Yeah. Never forget the guys' big win for the 9-inch Kings. I came across this the other day. Nikola Jokic cannot palm a basketball. That's right. Nikola Jokic cannot palm a basketball. They were trying to get him to do a team photo shoot, and he literally, you could tell, kind of embarrassingly, sheepishly told them can't do it. 9-inch King. We got Mahomes. We got Burrow. We got Jokic. Okay. Us respectably sized handed people are up big right now, or up small, however you want to frame it. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, also ToyotaBatonRouge.com for all your car needs. You need a brand new vehicle, go check out All-Star. Okay, they got everything you need to the bottom. They got rentals, new Toyota certified used vehicles. We got the trunk or treat going down this Saturday. If you want to go bring the kids out, get some candy, have a good time, check out some of those spooky good deals at All-Star ToyotaBatonRouge.com. Taylor, give me an NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
Does anyone know what the best ability is in sports?
Availability.
Look at you guys. Y'all played a little bit of sports back in y'all's day, it sounds like.
That's right, baby.
Well, Jamison Williams unavailable for the next 2 games. If you remember, he missed the first 11 games of his rookie year coming off of that ACL that he tore in that national title game. Then last season, he was suspended 4 games for sports betting. He suspended the next 2 games for an NFL performance-enhancing substance policy. This was announced Monday night, so the hits keep coming for Jamison Williams. He was off to a good start. I mean, 361 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he was kind of that second option they were looking for behind Amon-Ra St. Brown on the outside, but they're going to be without him for at least the next 2 weeks.
What do we know what he got suspended for?
No, it just says PD. I mean, you know.
Whatever it's like. I always think it's like Adderall. Nowadays, I wonder. Again, that's me saying that, guys. That's just me saying that. So that's it. Biggest storyline of the day.
Yeah, Jamison Williams. Well, we talked about all the injuries earlier with 49ers, the Bucks, the Saints. So for what it was worth, we were talking about it during break. You were talking about Bucks being a little healthy. They lost Chris Godwin and Mike Evans last night. Yeah. Godwin's going to be out for the year. I mean, he left on an air cast on the cart. Evans' hamstring injury, they don't know the extent of that yet, but he got hurt like first quarter and did not come back.
My NFL story of the day was Baker openly zinning on the sideline last night.
He did.
Which, is that allowed? I feel like the NFL has always been very anti-tobacco on camera.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe not, though. I don't know. It's not tobacco, though, I guess. Right?
I don't actually know.
It's just nicotine. I believe. I could be wrong.
Church dip. I don't know.
Ask the Bench. Coming up next here on Off the Bench. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench.
Go to ITI Technical College. ITI College.edu. ITI for a better life. And hey, look, if you want them to know that you came from OTB, help us out a little bit, well, you call 267-8003. That's 225-267-8003. But really, I just want you to go check out ITI and what they can offer you. Because I understand right now is a trying time, right? For direction, like where am I going? I need some stability, I need some vision. Okay, well, you go with ITI, you meet their counselors, you tour the beautiful campus right there off of Airline Highway. They'll schedule for you, right? Flexible schedules. You can actually work full time while going to school, day class, night class. You get Fridays off. Financial assistance available to those who qualify through multiple different avenues. Go to ITIcollege.edu today.
Yeah, when you go to that website, you will see right there the incredible campus off Airline Highway. It's a great view of it, but we encourage you to go to the website to schedule that today, iticollege.edu.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2024 Ram 1500 truck for only $32,898. $32,898 for a new Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
All
right, now this is a Texas song. Literally.
What bar do you think he was leaving in San Antonio?
George Strait was the only Texas artist I played today.
No, I don't care.
What bar do you think he was leaving in San Antonio, Andre?
Probably like the Bernie area.
Oh, I was going to say your family.
Yeah,
bar.
so I thought.
That's what I was setting you up for.
It's not that, it hasn't been open that long. It's
It
also
doesn't matter.
not.
The people don't know.
It's also not in San Antonio.
Oh, I thought it was in San Antonio.
It's in Round Rock.
Oh.
I've always said that.
She has said that.
Yeah, pay attention to T-Bob.
Okay, because I know the difference between two cities in Texas. The hell out.
They're not close.
I'm not saying you do.
Round Rock
I'm
and
just
San
saying
Antonio are close?
No.
They're like an hour and a half away from
Round Rock's by
That's
Austin.
close by Texas measures.
Yeah,
though,
but
right?
Texas is big,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's
it's close by Texas.
Yeah, because you could be driving for an hour and a
So I
half in
guess-
San Antonio and still be in
So,
San Antonio.
Thank you. So I'm right?
I guess Longview and Dallas
No.
are close now because they're an hour and 45
I wouldn't
minutes.
say you're right, but
Yeah. Sounds close to me. You just got to take a long view of things. Zoom out a little bit.
Malcolm Kelly, Longview legend.
Malcolm Kelly, Oklahoma. Played him in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey, Longview legend.
Yeah, he is a Longview legend.
Ask the Bench. Brought by Cold Curse Live. Visit our Total Booming Lights Sky City Suite.
That's a name pull, Malcolm Kelly by you.
Who's Malcolm Kelly? I don't know.
Receiver,
Malcolm.
Oklahoma, played in the NFL for the Redskins.
I don't remember Malcolm Kelly at all.
I played him in high school. He was a good player. A really good player.
He was good. Like when he was in college.
Yeah,
he
he's
was,
a stud.
Yeah.
Ask the bench, who's the best spread quarters character? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm still
I'm
a live guy, you know. Chalk, but it's great.
Yeah.
Although, did he call after this last game? I still don't think I've seen the latest one. Somebody said he was missing.
I don't know.
Ask the bench, what's the worst fan base you encountered during your time with LSU? I've never really, I don't know. I haven't really had a bad fan base. I think
haven't either.
everybody's the same.
Yeah.
And everybody just.
I loved going on the road and getting booed as you came out
Yeah.
for warm-ups. And,
Yeah.
oh, my gosh. And then when you made the play to break their soul, you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. National sub, or no, best national sub place. Subway, Firehouse, Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's.
I'm Team Jimmy John's.
I am too, man. I was obviously Subway growing up.
Yeah,
They
it's
should have
trash.
Jersey Mike's after church every Sunday for a while there.
See, we didn't have Jersey Mike's in Shreveport. They do now, but not when I was growing up. They have, all of them now, but you had Subway. That was it.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of $5
Schlotzsky's is the
footlongs in
best.
college. Well, Schlotzsky's
Oh, I
count
did
for
love.
this?
I
Yeah.
loved Schlotzsky's.
Yeah.
Back in
We
the
used to have
day.
one on
national.
Sherwood
Yeah,
growing
true,
up.
true.
We used to have one on Sherwood growing up. It was good. No, I used to be Jimmy John's for a while, but we got a Jersey Mike's at Jubin about a year and a half ago. It's good.
The oil and vinegar
I
is
think
good,
Jersey
but I think
Mike's is
Jimmy John's is
overrated.
better. Yeah, I think it's overrated. I think Firehouse is overrated too.
I
told
love
you that
Firehouse.
yesterday.
I've never
Yeah, I
been to
like
Firehouse. Never been.
The meatball sub is 10 out of 10.
God,
Nothing-
Husky Jake that
can't
was
be
wearing
taken.
Husky jeans used to get the meatball sub at Subway.
You put mayo,
I love a
do you put
meatball
mayo
sub.
on yours? Yeah, I used to get that Subway.
On my
the
meatball
most.
sub?
I get the
No.
most
No, it's
random
good mayo on
meatball. Everybody's like, you're the. I used to get pickles and mustard on it.
That's interesting.
I know.
That's not that bad.
I don't
The
know
mustard's a
how.
little
I don't
odd,
know
but
how
the
I
pickles-
found
I
myself
love
there.
I could see it.
mustard. I'll put mustard
I would
on
try that.
anything.
I've never had. I would
Yeah.
never think to do that, but I would try it.
I'll put mustard or pickles on anything.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Why don't more Americans use bidets? They're spirit to use
Did you ever
pee.
get yours?
I've had mine. I just never installed it. I've had it for
Still
like
not?
well over a year now.
That
I
was
just
like a
need to do
dream
it.
of yours.
I
No,
know.
T,
I
that's
know.
been 2 years.
Yeah, it probably has been 2 years.
I saw this guy. He got a UTI from his bidet because it was going from his butt to like his like butt juice was going to like
What?
His that's what he was
urethra?
saying. Yeah.
I think he was sitting backwards.
I don't ever
Yeah.
want
I
to
think
hear.
he was using the
I
bidet
don't
wrong.
His
ever,
elbow just
ever.
hanging down in the water.
I
He was
never want to
sitting
hear butt
backwards
juice
on the
again.
toilet.
Butt
I
juice is
never
gross.
want to hear that again.
This is butt juice.
Off the bench.
By the way, according to Taylor, not a single Yell leader named Taylor. And he's trying to claim that Jake is the name of the lead Yell leader.
Jake
this year.
Carter. Got a picture of him.
Jake Carter is a pretty white sounding name.
That's real white.
Go to K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. You want window coverings that wow? You want K to Z. The experts at K to Z will come out and tour your home, let you know exactly how your home interacts with sunlight, customized plan for you to help save you money, cool your home off, maybe take glare off the TV, black out a room if you need to. Look, you over here, your wife, your husband talking about indoor window treatments. You send her to K to Z, you win. Look at the reviews. KTOZblinds.com.
Have them come out. They're going to know exactly what you need. You're going to tell them what you're looking to get done, and they're going to know your space better than you know it in 5 minutes. They've done it for me. They will certainly do it for you as well. Go to the website to schedule today, KTOZblinds.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.